All right, guys, it's our final streamed draft of the summer. We got a $2,500 Super League on the NFFC. And of course, we had to go out with a bang. Mike Leone joining us. Alpha plays only. We're headed to Vegas later this week. But for now, we crush this $2,500 league. Let's go.
Pat Fryer Helmo.
This is why I'm hot.
Anita Handjob.
Fix your site.
Jamar. Alpha play chase.
Are you kidding me? Kadarius Toney?
You can't handle the heat.
It looks like we're finally at this point. You're right.
All right, we are off to the races. Mike Leone joining us. How are we doing, Mike?
We're doing good. I see that Pat is asking to have his email linked to the league as the draft starts. So we're off to a phenomenal
Even though
start.
he's already been invited like 9 times and haven't accepted the initial invites. But
Brad's had a rough day. Leave him alone.
Yeah. Who are we taking as the 3 wide
This is where it's
off the board?
Yeah, this is where we're taking CMC and hating ourselves. I think is what we decided.
Last year was taking
I don't really
and
see what
hating
the other
ourselves.
option is. We almost have to take CMC, right?
Unless someone wants to reach for Garrett Wilson, which I'm just like, sure.
I mean, I'm in.
I don't even like Garrett Wilson at the draft, so.
All right, CMC.
Then I guess it's CMC by default.
I mean,
that was the other thing. We were like, we could get cute and go wide receiver, but we won't even agree on the wide receiver. So,
Mike, will you click CMC for us? I was trying to add Pat here.
Oh God.
He should be top anyways, but just in case. Thank you.
I was like, I don't know if my brain's in the position to click the buttons, and then I get hit with the "Can you pick the player?" with 12 seconds left. But I did it.
You nailed it though. Yeah, no, we forgot to set KDS, right? And so we wound up at a spot that we don't necessarily love. Which, you know what? That's been the theme of our August.
So the KDS. Like when the league was at like 5 out of 12, but then it filled fast and it just ran an hour later. So like you had an hour to set your KDS, and we didn't check happened to just check our emails during that time.
We got to talk to Greg. I feel like the KDS should be 24 hours, but like how much time do you need to know your draft slot? Like how many days in advance do you really need to know to game plan? Like I don't know. We've been caught off guard. We should be getting our KDS set.
Well, the thing too about the KDS and like some of the things, like when you pick at the 1-2 turn and then you get the 301, like some of those fallers there have been like very fragile relative to some of this news. And with like JT and Cooper Kupp, like some of the optimal KDS slots have like slightly shifted too because of that. So it has been a bit of a moving target with all of this news. And now Kelsey as well, I think changes things as even more.
Yeah, when we did the draft with Josh and Essential, I was giving them crap for setting the 110 as their top one, like a lot of crap. I think that might be my top one now.
Wow.
Like I think you want to be. I mean, it would probably be 112 maybe, but like I think you want to be at the back end with the third round reversal. It's pretty fun.
So I've tried about 3 different invite codes here to get on this league, and none of them are working.
Well, I'm deleting the old one, and I'm sending the new one to you.
I also think the draft spot from 4 is getting progressively worse with the injury news. Like it wasn't so bad at the time it happened, but then it's like we're even more scared about Kupp. And oh, by the way, Kelsey's hurt now.
Still way better than 5. 5 is the one.
Way better than 5.
Used to be good, and now it's not.
It's 6. Ooh.
Barkley going in the first round is
what? Oh yeah, because Eckler. Yeah, I think we probably would have just taken wide receiver at 5.
Amon-Ra and Garrett just go ahead of AJ Brown and CD now. That's just it. Like, I mean, you go back to our mini-sodes, and we took AJ Brown CD at the 111 and 202 and felt like that might be unique by the end of it, but. I mean, I think Amon-Ra went to the turn. Garrett went after our 202, and we're like, yeah, we'll get exposure to those guys in the second round throughout draft season. You can't. They go 111 and 110 now. It's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, for people tuning in, this is a self-contained league. A few of the other most recent drafts we've done on NFFC are the Prime Time, which has that $250,000 top prize. This is just a $2,500 12-team league. We've enjoyed doing these leagues with Leone the past few years. We won the 5K 2 years ago, hopped in the 10K last year, came up short. Thanks, Kyle Pitts, for that.
And we came in second, though, didn't we? Or did we come in third? I think it was second.
Was it second or third? We did make a late charge. Okay, second. I was just so spoiled by our victory that I forgot.
It felt like a bit. We grinded all year, so it like didn't feel good. But we came in second, so that was great.
I completely had undersold that. In my mind, I was like, "Oh, we bricked out." I forgot that we got second. So we're gonna see if we can keep our hot streak going in these self-contained 12-person leagues.
Yeah, Ben and I the year before won that weird fantasy
World
tournament where it's like for fantasy World Series thing. Yeah, where it's like 4 things. So everything but the FFPC playoff challenge has gone well as far as group play.
We just roll our winnings in and then lose them.
I swear that's our biggest edge, though.
It is.
We have the biggest edge in that tournament.
Let's stay on task, but yes.
Some people say we draft our high stakes teams like $12 dynasty leagues. We draft our $2,500 teams like a $77 league. Is the new criticism levied here?
It's optimal.
We're feeling prepared. We're good.
We were talking about in Discord though how like this draft season's a little different. Like as far as it's harder to just draft straight ideologically, just with some of the ADP and stuff, but in these leagues, we've almost been forced to draft that way the past 2 years. Like we had JT and Swift 2 years ago when we dominated. Last year we had Eckler and Brees and took a tight end detour. Like, so we're prepared for a difficult draft from the wide receiver standpoint.
We got a blueprint. Calvin Ridley 203. Woo.
Yeah. Leone, had you floated Ridley as potentially a guy in the third for us if we didn't know who to take?
No. The second.
That was the second. Okay, I was like.
No, he was not. Yeah, he was not last to us in the third. Our pick in the second here, we were saying, is like, hope a wide receiver falls, and then there's a tier break, and it's like, well, do you kind of reach a little on
three wide receivers here,
quarterback,
and then there's 3 wide receivers and 4 picks until we're up here. So it'll be really interesting to see how that breaks.
Yeah, this is where the Cup Kelsey stuff just bugs us. Derrick Henry's a great pick for us.
Yeah.
Yes. So
especially
where are you guys
I think by
Cup?
ADP too. Ooh,
In
that's an
this format.
ADP sneaker upper. I think at the 3-4 turn, it's in play if we get kind of stuck. But like even there, I don't think it's a slam dunk. But maybe I'm being too scared. I don't know.
This feels like the worst type of tournament or type of thing to take him in, because like in Best Ball Mania, you could talk yourself into like, hey, if this is all smoke, like I'm gonna get one of the cheapest price, I'm gonna get rare combos. But here, I just want to win the league, and I don't know, it's a pretty risky pick.
Slight ADP value for a little bit more upside isn't really like, what's that extra upside really giving you with the extra risk,
Yeah, and I don't know. 30-year-old wide receiver seeing a hamstring specialist is scary. I find that scary.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, so we get Devonta, right? I think Devonta or T.
Devonta for me.
Yeah, I'm good.
T's been sliding a little bit more too. I doubt in this room he would come back, but if one would, it would definitely be Higgins. So let's grab Devonta here. I got it, Mike.
Okay. Thank you, Peter.
1s and 2s. So we start CMC Devontae Smith. We were kind of sweating there because Waddle, Ridley, and Devontae Adams went off after Chubb went at the 1-2 turn. And then we got a Derrick Henry pick, a Tony Pollard pick, Olave goes, then Travis Kelce goes to team 5 with Eckler. And so we were kind of just hoping to get one of Higgins or Devontae Smith. And so Higgins does immediately come off the board after us to the Tyreek Hill drafter.
Yeah, if some of these teams were ordered differently, easily Henry and Kelce could have gone after us, which would have left us. I think we would have had to take I don't think. Would you guys have taken quarterback or gamble on Kelce?
Tough question.
I think I would have probably preferred quarterback in that decision.
I guess you could go like Metcalf or Debo, but I think I would have gone quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably go quarterback too.
Chad,
But thankfully we didn't have to decide.
Yeah, it wouldn't have felt. It wouldn't have been
Cooper.
fun.
So Cup comes off there.
That's nice.
I was
That's
interested
nice.
to see whether we would have to have that decision in the third. We got a couple picks till we're up, Pat. The chat's been asking. You're in your new place.
Mm-hmm.
Had kind of a rough day, but how you doing in SoCal?
I had almost an awesome day, right? All of our stuff arrived. We're finally like, I'm at my desk right now, my normal desk. I got my monitors here. Now those monitors are off, unfortunately, because I'm a fucking idiot and I spilled a full thing of water all over my desktop computer. Like I got settled. I was like, here we go. Finally gonna get some work done. Finally back just the way I like everything. And then I was all discombobulated. I had been drinking out of this like stupid water bottle because we didn't, this is like my only cup that I've had for like 5 days, and I like filled it up with water, but it's like all like, it's not like very sturdy. So I like kind of accidentally like tapped it, and it like just immediately spilled so much water on my desktop. And yeah, so I turned it off, and then I like took it apart. I cleaned it, and I like tried to get but there was water in it, and then I tried to turn it on, and that was probably, I don't know if that was stupid. Maybe it wasn't, but it didn't turn on. And I took it to like the computer specialist repair guy. He turned it on. It did turn on there. And they turned it off real quick. He's like, all right, I'm going to take a look at it. And yeah, we'll see. But I'm back on the laptop, which is a little bit of a frustrating part of the day. But zooming out, things are pretty sweet. Things are pretty sweet.
How you feeling in the SoCal weather and in the new place and everything?
I'm feeling good. I've been in Brooklyn for 3 years. I was in Lower East Side of Manhattan for like 7 years before that. I bounced around New York in various neighborhoods. At no point did I have a fig tree in my backyard. We do have that here. There's a fig tree that is producing an insane amount of figs. The neighbors are like, hey, like we got lemons. There's oranges around the corner. It's like a co-op
Sounds
of
idyllic,
shared fruit trees here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been nice.
We got Chad in our league for the third year in a row, I believe. He's the one who won it last year.
Yep. Yeah, Chad. We're always battling with Chad in these. Ryan asked a question here. Which QB do you have first and second in this format? He has a prime time tomorrow, and QB might make sense in the third. Mahomes and Allen better than Hurts with this scoring. Do you guys have thoughts on that with the 6-point passing TD?
I don't know. I think I'm all close. I'd probably still take Hurts, but I think it's pretty close.
I mean, depending on who you go.
Allen. I mean, Allen and Mahomes. I think the way he wrote it out is the way I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, I think.
And I think too, I mean, you can use stacking as the tiebreaker. Like if we were choosing between Devontae Smith, or we had Devontae Smith and we're choosing between Allen and Hurts, I mean, we're definitely going Hurts in that scenario.
Guys, we're on the clock. That was the 7th running back off the board. That is insane. We have Jahmyr Gibbs here at 309.
I would take Gibbs.
I think I would too. What do you guys think?
But then because we kind of have a flattish wide receiver tier, but then we kind of have to give up on the Brees Dream in 4, I think, and just see if someone's super
or
falls
just flex him.
5.
Yeah, I'm fine with Gibbs, but I would still want to take Brees potentially in 4, depending on what the other options are. But
what should we take Gibbs and then talk about it?
Let's do Gibbs. Yeah. I personally,
this is what the room is giving us as running back. No running backs went between our pick and Devonta until Jacobs right before us. I mean, that was wild.
So one thing that's kind of fun about, we've taken a lot of like Brees or in this range, like kind of getting like a 2v2 on like the wide receiver we don't normally take in the early fourth, whether that's a Drake London or Christian Watson or something. Like I kind of don't mind that from just like a portfolio perspective.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
My only take on Brees was like, there's some chance that like someone really falls in 5, for hitting the home run at running back.
Right.
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah,
that's a really good point. It locks us out structurally.
Yeah, we'd be done.
I mean, there's a chance that no one comes
We have
back.
enough exposure to Brees. We could go one draft without him, right?
Brees in every draft, man. It's a pretty simple game plan.
Pretty simple gameplay.
Have we taken Gibbs in one of our high stakes
I don't
leagues
think
yet?
so.
We have.
So.
Yeah,
this
this
is
feels
fun.
good.
This is definitely fun.
This is right on brand for us the last 2 years. The unexpected running back pivot.
It's literally the DeAndre Swift pick from 2 years ago. I mean, it's the same role.
Yeah,
Feels like
exactly. So right after us, so we start CMC, Devontae Smith, Jahmyr Gibbs. Right after us, Ramondre, and then DJ Moore to the Chase Mahomes. And now we're trying to see what the Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp team is going to do out of the one hole here.
There's also, I mean, I'm just gonna float it, but there's like quarterback too. If we had T, Burrow would have been kind of interesting with the scoring, but probably not. There's Burrow and Lamar.
I'm with you on that.
I just have found the way we've been, wanting to scoop up the running back values while also staying on pace at wide receiver. It's really hard to also feather in the QB there. And we often like the tight end too, like in round 6 and 7 at times. So it can get tricky. Yeah. Mixon goes, which is a nice pick for us here. Any running backs that come off the board are probably kind of good picks for us.
Yeah, at this point, we want to see Green.
Although I kind of
genuinely a shocking outcome here where, I mean, to have Pollard have already gone off by the middle of the second, but when Olave went at 207, you don't get another running back until Jacobs at 309, 8. I mean, that's a long stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Considering,
I don't know how
there's also a lot of receivers in the first round. Like AJ Brown was gone. Like all these guys were gone by 12. Jalen Waddle went 202. Ridley went 203. That was an interesting run out.
So I think it's Brees, Gamble, or I'd probably lean wide receiver here. I think there's like 3 guys I would pick. I know we have one that we've agreed upon. I don't know how much we're saying out loud. If people are watching the stream or not, like what our protocol is there.
There's definitely one wide receiver where you will have no argument for me to go wide receiver.
My big question is, do you guys think this room is going to continue to be a bunch of piss boys, or do you think they're going to pivot and take a lot of running backs?
Because we have 2 0 running back starts here. I don't know if those are going to be true 0 running backs or, if they're going to pivot.
Right.
It's so hard to tell.
Mahomes Herbert from chat.
Dude, that might have been a timeout there. That has to be a timeout. He led it all the way to 0.
This is kind of late for Burrow. A timeout would have given him JT. Well, maybe he had a Q set.
That feels like a timeout. I don't know how you do that in this league.
I mean, I don't.
I mean, it's a standalone 12-team league, and if you think Mahomes and Herbert with the extra passing numbers are
shit, you're right. I'm sorry, Pete. I've totally spaced that he had Mahomes already. That's definitely a timeout because that's Chad. No, I don't think there's any way Chad's doing that.
I think we should do Drake London.
I think Drake London.
We agreed on that ahead of time, pretty much in this exact spot. So I'm London over Brees.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, I think London makes more sense for the structure.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I think it just gives us more flexibility.
It does. It pushes more running backs down too. I mean, that increases the odds that a pick we like in 5 at running back or 6 or whatever comes back.
Yep.
Herbert was auto. I wonder if we're gonna. I haven't seen anything in the chat. Not yet. Next time that happens, we should pick fast. I'm serious because I like if he does his pick, I don't think he can take someone that's off the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like he could take. Like if we're waiting and then they pause it, he could take London.
Yep.
Cutthroat. Chad's won enough money. He's not going to trade London.
We're not the only one treating this like a $77 league, guys.
They're talking about it in chat now. I don't know. So we'll see here. Aaron Jones is a good pick. Well,
although talk about getting behind at wide receiver, Eckler, Kelsey, Jacobs, Aaron Jones. It's going to be tough.
The tricky thing about him changing it now is anyone between here and there could have said, well, now I want Herbert. So you kind of have to roll the whole thing back.
I don't think we can roll this back. The train is left.
I think
the
general protocol is like he makes a different pick, and then it's like did you want Watson or Herbert? Okay. Did you want London and then you just kind of go one by one until either Herbert's gone or, I mean, it's sloppy, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're stopping. I mean,
has Chad commented in the chat?
No. But
no,
I mean, there's
they're
a
wondering
phone
if he's
number
been kicked
provided.
offline.
Yeah.
There's a number provided that I should have saved in my phone just in case something weird happens to us, and then we can just call like right away.
Yeah. So our start here, CMC, Devontae Smith, Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, we're all confused because Chad, one of the most decorated high stakes players, took 2 elite quarterbacks through 4 rounds, Mahomes in round 2, Herbert in round 4, but it did appear the clock got bled until the last second on the Herbert pick, who was top of the queue there. But who knows?
You're right, Peter, because it's got the A for auto in the draft history.
Yeah.
Oh. It's weird that he had Herbert in his queue, though, right?
Yeah, ADP wise, he wouldn't have been the pick
because he's not the pick. Yeah, by ADP.
Yeah, you're right.
And he already took Mahomes, unless he got like kicked off, like
real. As soon as he took Mahomes.
That's what confused me. Is like he wouldn't have been the pick by ADP, and also like if he already had Mahomes, why does he have Herbert in his queue? Like it's sort of. Yeah.
Well, the RB gamble doesn't totally pay off. I mean, I think it was slim chances, but I thought there was some chance either Brees or ETN went, just the way I've seen some of these drafts go, but they both don't even make it to the 5th.
Yeah. I still like, you could play the 2v2s there, right? Like it's, I don't know. Well, I guess it's not even really 2v2 because Debo and Allen were already off the board. So you're like DJ Moore, Brees, Gibbs, London or whatever. But just it feels weird to not have a share of Gibbs in our portfolio. Not that precludes us from taking Brees there, but man, I just think it's okay having one draft without Brees here.
No, I agree, and I'm sad to lose him for sure. But I don't know if we're going to get some running back value in the 5th that's going to make us feel good about passing on Brees, because I think if we don't, I'm probably going to like the 2v2, of like London, whatever else we get, or Brees and whatever else we get. I probably prefer the Brees side, but we kind of got to give ourselves that chance a little bit, I think.
And the chance of a running back coming back.
A slide.
Yeah, of the slide.
Yeah, and then agreed.
And like floor side too, like if all the wide receivers go and you've got Brees, it's like
then you're like,
I think like
that was the other thing I was gonna say is worst case scenario, we wind up going like receiver here, and we're really happy through 6. We have 4 receivers and 2 running backs. Like that's what you want to be in this format anyway, ideally.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it is starting to go running back heavier. I thought for sure Dobbins would be there in 5, possibly even 6. But I mean, in some ways, that's okay if we can start getting. I mean, we might end up fine at wide receiver.
Yeah. The way these drafts have shaken out for us, there tends to be a decent running back in like 5, 6, and 7. That you end up liking whenever you want to pivot there.
Yeah, there's one that I like for sure, but.
Yeah. Well, we are going to. So that. Oh,
just to defend myself in the chat real quick. If we had gotten Tyreek at 4, I would have been pounding the table for Brees.
Yeah.
Okay, chat.
I think we would have gone Brees. Yeah.
We would have.
I think we would have too, because it would be, you're saying Tyreek, Devontae, Gibbs. I think
Brees.
For sure we're going Brees there.
Yeah, no question.
But it's kind of having to be flexible with being in that 4 slot when then CMC.
Has Chad commented in the chat yet, or is like
no?
No.
I mean, there's no update. I guess. We're just rolling. I guess.
Josh said Chad is in Ian and Dwayne's prime time right now. I think the Fantasy Life guys are streaming, and he's just multi-tabling.
Dude, I think he's always multi-tabling. I'm surprised he's in several others, honestly, at the same time. And that's where you run into these issues.
If you're multi-tabling like that, like
wow,
might be.
Dude, this team 8, we love this team 8.
The Michael Pittman.
Yeah.
The old Henry Najee Pittman build is, not something we're annoyed to see.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the chat roasting me for being not bullish enough on Brees Hall.
Well, someone in the chat too doesn't understand how a portfolio works, and when you have literally tens of thousands of dollars, you don't want that all tied up on one running back coming back. Some of us get the free roll this year more than others, Pat.
Portfolio aside, I mean, there's intricacies to each draft. You can't just
you gotta play each draft.
We've played fast and loose with some of the running back stuff, and we've also had drafts where we have to select Jacoby Myers. So how that
that's
goes.
True.
So
that's not
it's all right.
This team 7's got a really nice team. I mean, those are all guys we would have taken at those picks, potentially.
Yeah. So looking at the teams behind us, we're about to be on the clock. We got the team who hasn't taken a wide receiver up. And then the teams behind us, there's the 3 QBs, and they're pretty balanced. So I could see them going any direction. We're on the clock. Lockett goes. Do you guys want to grab Kenneth Walker here and then just pound wide receiver?
That would be my preference. That's Walker.
I'm fine with that.
Guys I was thinking about is potential.
That's the guy you were talking about, Leone, right?
Yeah, that's the running back I like. There's 2 receivers I like too, and I'd also be okay you just getting both of those, but I'm fine with Walker. Do you guys
have any thoughts on the 2v2s of wide receiver here, like Javonte Williams coming back versus Kenneth Walker here and wide receiver coming back?
I think I'm gonna like the 2v2 with Walker personally.
All right, let's go Walker.
Are you good with that, Gretch?
I am, yeah. I don't think I don't think I'm going to be on the same 2 receivers as Leone even. So I think Walker's the one that we're going to agree on.
That's the other thing. We would have to. I'm 100% sure I don't even want the same receiver as Leone here.
It's funny. I got Pat, the receiver I want. I got Pat to say is a good pick, exactly where we are, and now he's faced with the actual decision.
Well, but I don't take him over another wide receiver that's available here, ever. And
I put a reach across the aisle wide receiver in the queue to maybe we could all join together around that.
Can you put some in the chat? Can we actually talk through these?
I think we can. I mean, Chad's clearly not watching.
Chad's not watching, so we're good.
I have Kirk by a mile here. But
you're out here writing threads about Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
That's not who I wanted there.
I
thought you were going to say Hopkins. Oh, Hopkins went. I missed that.
So this was I put Dotson in as the
Dotson.
Dotson would have been one of my 2 big ones there, and Ayuk.
Ayuk was the guy.
Leone.
Yeah, Leone's.
I think Ayuk's fine here. I would have taken Ayuk over Dotson. I feel like Ayuk that you guys probably feel about Kirk. I'm not going to quibble about Ayuk at this. I have a pretty big gap between Kirk and Ayuk if you're talking 1v1. But aside, if you eliminated Kirk from the conversation, I think Ayuk is definitely the best wide receiver available right now.
And I think it's fair. I have him in the same tier. I have Ayuk towards the top of it, Kirk towards the bottom of it. It's one of my biggest wide receiver tiers. It's pretty
That's
flat.
that's how I basically have it, yeah.
So just thinking through I mean, is Kirk's going to have 40 more targets than Ayuk?
I don't know if I buy that.
Yeah, I don't really buy that.
I'm I don't know. The Jacksonville optimism is strong. Kirk came off the field in 2 wide receiver sets. They're going to be all.
Oh my God! If I hear that one more time, I'm going to lose.
I know they're going to be all 11 personnel the whole time. It's not going to matter. But Zay Jones is going to get targets. Evan Ingram's going to get targets. Obviously, Ridley's going to get targets. I think it's going to be relatively flat in that offense.
Well,
he might be flat, but I think
there's
also
literally
potential that
the
just
market's
those
right.
guys.
Yeah, that's how they played it last year. They didn't rotate in anyone else, so that's helpful. But I think Ridley, there's a chance that he just is an alpha. I think the market is overconfident that that's the case, but I get why they are excited about it.
Did you say 40 more targets?
Yeah, I mean our base projections is a 20 to 25 target gap. I mean Kirk goes anyway, so it's moot now.
Mine's 14. I just pulled up, but I mean.
But I also think we have we've capitulated a lot on Christian Kirk's target share, and we still just have him very, very good. But I think part of it for me is that people just don't realize how many fantasy receiving points there's going to be for Jacksonville. I
took him in a big dog today. I'm not like ideological about it. I just
let's go. I mean, it's moot here because he's gone.
Yeah.
So I think we all agree
Yeah.
it's Ayuk, right?
Are you comfortable with Ayuk McCaffrey? Is everyone comfortable with that?
For sure.
Yeah.
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 I don't see a receiver that's even really close, if I'm being honest.
I was looking at the next tier. This feels like a clean tier break at wide receiver that we caught there. I love this 2v2 now on Walker Ayuk versus even if it was
Ayuk
like
and someone else potentially.
it would have been Javonte, would have been the running
It
back.
would have been. Walker. I thought we were doing. I was thinking the Brees one would be probably Brees and I guess it'd be Brees and Dotson versus London and Walker.
Yeah, Brees and Dotson versus London Walker.
But I wouldn't have wanted Dotson there, so it would have gotten hairy as to what we actually did.
Brees and Kirk versus London and Walker.
You guys,
I don't know. You could have sold me on Brees and Kirk. You could have gotten me.
All because of Brees hating Kirk. That's how much you like Brees.
But I think it worked out pretty well overall, and I think we know what we want to do next for sure.
Yeah, so through 6 rounds, CMC, Devontae Smith, Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, Kenneth Walker, Brandon Ayuk, Jekyll and Hyde waffling back and forth between running backs and wide receivers.
Some love for Team 5 here.
Yeah, the Piss and Yellow teams always get rave reviews around here. Stephon Diggs, Chris Olave, Deebo Samuel, DeAndre Hopkins, Justin Fields, and
that's Team 6. They like Team 5.
They like Team
5. Oh, that's a bit. That's a bit. Jonathan Taylor goes off the board to the 0 RB drafter.
I mean, if he comes back in week 5, like that's going to be a hard team to beat.
When do you think he comes back?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think the Colts already, like the way that I wrote it up, and I still kind of stand by this, the Colts already showed a willingness to take on additional risk, sort of to be idealistic and to prove a point. Because I think by doing the PUP thing, I mean, they could have just activated it. They could have just cut, like, Deion Jackson or Zach Moss or somebody at another position, right? An extra tight end or an extra linebacker and activated him. But they went the PUP route, which immediately locks him out for 4 games. And then when Jeff Wilson goes on IR, like, think about that. Like, if he wasn't definitely out for the first 4 games, like, you maybe have more leverage over Miami at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Waddle stuff, though, it just makes me skeptical that a trade was ever close at all.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like it was. Mike McDaniel was saying, like, they, what's his name, Greer or whoever the GM is, like, would bring it across my desk if it was close. But as far as I know, like, it's not close, basically. He was saying that, the coach's perspective in media.
Yeah, so they're just...
It doesn't sound like it was ever, like, a strong...
I don't think they took it seriously. I think they're... Originally, right, people were like, oh, maybe they're just kind of saying, sure, go find 3 first-round picks and you'll get traded. But, like, they're just playing hardball that way. And I think that must have been what it was the whole time. They were never serious. Or
why put him?
Or both.
Why put him on PUP? Like, even, and I know people said, like, maybe he's hurt, but, like, the whole thing, like, it locks him into missing games, which only hurts everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It hurts their hand. I don't know why they would do that. I think one reason to do it would be that if they leave him on PUP all season, he doesn't accrue a year.
Can they actually do that, though, without cause?
I don't know. I don't know if he's like, let me pass this physical. Like, I don't know how they're like, you better not let him pass the physical, doc. Like, I don't know if that, like, how that shit works.
That feels like a legal issue at a certain point.
Well, all of this feels pretty shady.
Right. That's the thing.
If they're going to actually trade him, he can't get hurt during these 4 weeks. But
yeah, but you could just do the Deshaun Watson thing and, like, have him active and not, play him.
Right.
And then you have the leverage.
Who knows? Ursay is such a wild card that there's, like, no applying logic to it.
It just makes no sense to lock
him
into missing 4 games.
Yeah, exactly. If a contender loses their starting running back to an ACL in week 1, like, we don't want to see that, or in week 2, being able to say, well, we can trade you Jonathan Taylor and he can be up to speed for week 3 or week 4 is an advantage.
Also, like, if you're trying to trade a guy, you don't want people to be worried he's seriously injured. So putting like pup for 4 games, like now you got to be like, no, like we're just dicking around where he's totally healthy. Like,
so I mean, once you understand all of that and think through it, and it doesn't really make sense. Like, then the risk of him not playing for a long time to me becomes more real, because it's like they're not acting logically, and once they're not acting logically.
Yeah. That's exactly what I feel. I'm like, we have left the world of the rational, and at that point, like, how am I supposed to predict what's going to happen?
And isn't there an element of this conversation too of like the Colts aren't trying to win this year? I mean, they might say they are, but they're not a playoff team, much less a Super Bowl contender. Like, what incentive? I mean, they're going to be trying to get a better draft pick, right? Like, do they even want JT to play this year?
No. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw Ballard's. I mean, what a little petulant bitch. He was like, it was unbelievable. Like, he's like, did Andrew Luck not have? Was he hurt by not having a good running back? It's like, Andrew Luck retired, right? It's because the organization screwed things up so bad. It's like, dude,
one of the biggest surprise moves in the history of the NFL. He retired in the middle of like August because he couldn't get healthy because you guys messed his whole career up. Like.
Which, to be fair to Ballard, wasn't Grigson really responsible for most of that? So I don't think Ballard, that wasn't on him. But I mean, I don't know. To invoke Andrew Luck is like somehow like a sign of something positive. It's like, you guys screwed. That's like a huge stain on the Colts organization.
Yeah, there's such a divergence between like some of the sharp teams and not sharp teams in this draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are started the 7th round. Some names that have gone off the board since we took Brandon Ayuk: TJ Hawkinson, JT, JSN, Gabe Davis, Cam Akers, Javonte Williams, Jordan Addison, Alexander Madison, Dallas Goedert at the beginning of the 7th, followed by Zay Flowers and Dalvin Cook here. I think we're gonna, knock on wood, still be in a decent spot to get a wide receiver we like here in the 7th.
Oh, we're gonna get one we like. Are we gonna get one we agree on? It seems unlikely.
I'm looking at who's in the queue. Yeah, I guess there's some maybe split guys here, maybe some that are a little long in the tooth at the wide receiver.
I don't have
position.
I guess I don't see us having huge debates on these guys. I don't know. We'll see.
Flash forward maybe 4 minutes from now.
Yeah, maybe I'm way off on where Leone's at. I don't know.
What are you guys talking about? What position are we looking at?
The impending argument we're about to have.
Team kickers. Yeah.
I'm still bummed that we didn't get JSN. We never really talked about this, but I think we were all kind of hoping he'd come all the way back, which it just didn't happen. 3 picks later, he went.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping one of the rookies came back. I didn't think JSN would, but I thought one of them might, and they did not.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what Team 7 does here, because this drafter has drafted all players pretty sure we collectively like. Amon-Ra, Tony Pollard, Keenan Allen, Breece Hall, Chris Godwin, JSN. Actually, Pat doesn't like Chris Godwin, but other than that,
I wouldn't have taken him there. But it's more like I would have probably taken
DeAndre Swift.
Yeah,
Sean's number 1 RB guy.
I don't mind.
Yeah, he's got a solid team. He's got a team that's like feels similar to the teams we've drafted the last couple of years.
He's drafting off Sean's ranking.
Wow, Rashad White, Kamara off the board. We're on the clock.
I'm like afraid to even say who I would pick here.
It's Mike Evans that you want to say.
No, it's Hollywood.
Mike Evans would actually be who I would want.
I'm really out on the Cardinals offense. I think it's just such a tough situation.
I am too, and I think it's been overpriced in. But if Pat likes Mike Evans, we could do that. There's also Quentin Johnson. If we just want to say, hey, let's take that archetype, we could just.
That's the rookie that when you said all the rookies are gone, I was like, well, what about him? He's still.
Why don't we say QJ and then see which veteran comes back?
Yeah,
I think that probably makes sense.
I think you're going to get bigger swings like QJ potentially next round. Like there's kind of the
say the name.
Tony, Burks, Bateman.
I'm not convinced by Tony.
Let's do QJ.
I'll go QJ. I'll vote QJ. We're running out of time. You got it.
Yeah. I'm not convinced. I mean, yes, I think you could say Kadarius Toney is he's always a big swing, but I mean, when you talk about the probabilities of that hitting, I mean,
guys,
I don't know if I put Toney.
Kyle Pitts right there. I was thinking about it on the way back, but there's no tight ends behind us. We got a lot of receivers we like coming back.
Yeah, we could have.
I had put Pitts in the queue. I mean, he was. I thought we maybe wanted to double up here, given.
We have London. I don't want London and Pitts, actually.
But that was the other thing, was like a tiebreaker. I mean, I guess like if you have enough receiver depth, you're just kind of like, well, let's take Pitts in London, and whoever does awesome, and we'll figure it out. But we're not exactly super great at wide receiver.
I am.
We've let Arthur Smith ruin enough of our joy in the last year. We don't need more of it on this team.
I'm not anti Kyle Pitts here, but I do think the guys Pat mentioned, I do think Hollywood's pretty good, but I mean,
I'm fine with Hollywood coming back, but I like the idea of getting QJ or Burks there and then seeing what comes back.
Yeah, my issue with QJ is that I like Bateman and Burks more than him as far as like the big swings go. So I was like thinking we could get like Evans or Marquise is like more of like a rare archetype. You know what I mean? Like we, feel comfortable starting them very early in the season. Like we think they're good. The offense is why they're available.
Yeah.
And then with the big swing, I shouldn't have led with Tony. That was not a good sales tactic.
As soon as you said Tony,
Tony was probably the wrong guy because he's like low key, like probably not a super high ceiling bet. He's more of like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Like
but I think, not that QJ isn't a high ceiling bet. He is.
All right. Well, the Pitts decision's out of our hands now.
Yeah.
But even if it goes to Burks or Bateman, those guys are going to.
That's who I would.
I'm fine with those guys.
Marquise.
My Hollywood pitch would just be that, like, I think he's actually good. He earns a shit ton of targets, and he could get traded, and Kyler could come back second half.
This price is awesome for him too.
There's just more ups. The market's so scared of Arizona that it's like, dude's seeing 10 targets a game. Like, I don't. I guess it could still be very bad, but like it could also turn around or just be okay. But I'm also fine, given that we kind of have our starters, that if we wanted to just say like Bateman or Burks. But I guess my point is I think Brown has a little bit of a ceiling too. It's not just like a floor target.
Well, and you're starting Brown likely over QJ at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Well, we're probably
going to start Josh Dobbs. He's super athletic. They're not even going to have much pass volume. They're not going to run a lot of plays.
I think I'd be Bateman.
Well, Bateman is the guy who's falling the most of.
You think we could get him in the 9th? I doubt it.
Yeah, like he's not.
The way these guys are drafting, I don't think Bateman's coming back.
But he's buried just relatively in the queue. Not saying that's the end all be all, but like
he's 101.
I'm Burks, Bateman, and Elijah Moore here above Brown, and I would be fine with any of those. If any of those, like I'm
Burks or Marquise Brown.
I guess Burks is the.
I'd be fine with Burks too.
I think Burks is the most amenable. If it seems like Gretsch really doesn't want Marquise, and
I'm pretty out on him on this team. I don't like him at all on this team.
Okay.
I hate to like be that like hard veto, but I think he's a bad pick for this team. Personally,
Leone, are you
be on record to say that I think he's a pretty good pick for this team, but
sure.
All right, I selected Burks there as it seemed like that's where our collective decision was leaning. So through 8 rounds, CMC, Devontae Smith, Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, Kenneth Walker, Brandon Ayuk, Quentin Johnston, and Treylon Burks.
Burks, I feel like, was everyone's second favorite pick there. So, or was
Which
he?
Could be a good thing.
Pete.
He might have been my first, but Leone makes a very compelling case on Marquise, and I think he fit in well kind of with this squad.
I hear Leone's case. I'm not confident that I'm right. It's just sort of I was sharing where I'm at with it.
Yeah, I just think the market's so priced in the Arizona stuff by this price tag.
Yeah, it is cheap.
Like he's good, he's young. I mean,
when I was referencing this particular build,
that's fair.
My thought was we did go 3 early running backs. We're not a lock to be flexing running back every time, but we are in all likelihood flexing running back a lot of the time. So we're actually not starting QJ week 1. And we are talking about our wide receiver 5 here, where I would like to continue just to stack the upside.
Yeah.
Swing.
I think my point I maybe didn't make well, but I was trying to make was that I actually think he is an upside pick.
Sure. You did say that, yeah.
Because
he doesn't feel it, but
yeah.
Well, you could middle it, right? Where it could just be this volume play early. They're on all these negative game scripts, and then Kyler comes back and the offense actually gets a little exciting.
Yeah. Or they trade him. Kyler comes back and is good. They trade him. There's some outs there.
Yeah. And at this price,
outs,
you have a lot of the risk is baked out, and the target floor is going to be there at the very least.
But if Dobbs starts, I mean, he's super athletic. Like, there's some risk of this team being like Chicago and Atlanta play volume last year, where even though
there's definitely a risk that the plays are this team is projected to be really bad.
Right.
I guess I have them projected to be really bad. So I'm like, and makes sense. I've cut Brown's ceiling odds in half. I've made the team lowest in the league in plays, and I've done everything I can.
Yeah.
You have them lowest in the league in plays?
I'm almost positive. I mean, they're projected to be so bad that I'm almost positive.
Than everyone else.
I love how we do this every year. I'm scanning the chat where people are, the Chargers' fourth wide receiver. Every single year we do this with super talented rookies who are highly drafted to in this case, an elite offense where we try to psych ourselves out with super noisy things for preseason, can't catch the ball, running behind this guy. And every single year, these guys come down the stretch and absolutely crush. It does make, I always worry the edges get dried up. And then I see the QJ discourse and I'm we're still fine, guys. We're fine. We get to do the same thing every single year with these guys, and people don't want to draft them. It's perfect.
He's stuck behind Palmer, Pete.
I appreciate it.
It does. It is funny
because non-news item though, because it's that's the default expectation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be?
It's literally what Justin Jefferson was dealing with in week 1. I mean, every single player.
Yeah, it happens all the time, and I mean, he was definitely a little bit of a low floor prospect, I would say, which makes me slightly more nervous about it. But
sure,
but look at the players going
ceiling
around,
yeah,
where no one here is locked and loaded in this range.
No.
And my thing on him, I mean, it's definitely different on Burks, but when we're talking about the offenses, again, we get back to Leone, when we did the projections pods, we both just absolutely love the Chargers offense, and to get a piece of them there is something that is meaningful to me. There's going to be a lot of plays. We're projecting a ton, compared to the Arizona, it's not an apples to apples. The chat's going, Marquise Brown is this veteran who's really good. Quentin Johnson's this rookie with a questionable profile. And what me and Leone in our projections had was the Chargers projecting them for the most plays in the NFL meaningfully, and Arizona projecting for the least meaningfully. But between the first and second, and between the 31st and 32nd, not even just between them and the average. These teams are clearly the top and bottom in terms of projected going into the year. Obviously, it's not going to play out exactly that way, but the range doesn't include Arizona running more plays in Chicago than the Chargers. It's not even possible, I don't think.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, and to get a piece, and by the way, we didn't take him in the 6th. The chat keeps talking about him in the 6th. We did take him in the 7th. But the
late 7th.
The thing about Johnston is that if he plays behind Palmer the entire season, then I would, at that point, say he's probably unlikely to finish his career, his rookie contract as a Charger. He's like N'Keal Harry. That's, I think, how bad he would have to be as a first-round pick to not be able to play ahead of Josh Palmer for a large portion of this season. And the fact that he isn't ahead of him right now, as even people that were bullish on Quentin Johnson, I think would have said he's a little bit raw. It's more of a yards after catch playmaking type of guy. The fact that he's not ahead of Palmer for week 1 doesn't really tell us that much. It certainly doesn't rule out the possibility that he's a bust, but it also, I don't think, necessarily makes it all that much more likely than his boom bust prospect profile did.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of if he's good, it's going to work out, and if he's bad, it's not. I don't know. It's not
which is simple, which is the same play as it was in May.
Yeah. Chad says he's doing 8 at a time, and he just messed that up.
Oh, man.
He's being good-spirited about it. He says he wanted the quality option for the free look game if Mahomes struggles.
The take a peek.
Good for Chad.
That's a really funny comment.
That's an amazing way to handle it.
There was a moment when that pick went through that I was like, did we accidentally sign up for a super flex league? Because I was just like,
and the room is really slow playing quarterback.
Yeah. It was like Greg just buried it in the settings. It was like, this actually is a $2,500 super flex league.
It says super right up there, Pete.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the super stands for. All right. So since we last picked, we did see Bateman, Kadarius Toney, a couple of the guys we named off the board. The first QB since Trevor Lawrence in the 6th comes off in Tua. Here coming back in the 9th, we're about 4 or 5 picks away.
Yeah, I'm looking at like if someone has a strong feeling on Watson, I don't really, but if you did, I think that'd be acceptable. I think there's Marquise is still here.
He's still here. We got to take him if he makes it back. That's the rule of the show. Anyone makes it all the way back to us, we have
We've
to
been
take
passing on him since round 6. It feels
there's also I don't know how this is where tight end gets weird where I love Kincaid and Laporta, but I have a hard time justifying it over like Freiermuth and Ingram. So I'm just like, I'll wait on tight end because they're still there. I like almost hope they just go to rationalize.
We're 3 picks away. Hand up. I'm running to the podium for Marquise if we go onto this team. Like I'm like this would be
that would give us a nice mix of archetypes for sure with the 3 running back start.
Yeah.
I think he would be a great. I mean,
when
he's got team 5. That's definitely. They took Michael.
That's team 5.
They were between Michael Thomas and Marquise Brown last round.
I'm being quiet not because I disagree, but because
I knew it was team 7. Yeah, team 7 wasn't going to let that go.
I would have been running with you guys to the podium. That would have been fun.
Yeah,
I think I am.
On 7 is the one that's been taking all the.
I like 7. I like teams. Team 7 is a nice team for sure. It's very similar to ours.
So the wide receiver cliff just absolutely happened. I mean, it's Marquise Brown and then
so
it's over.
I think I'm kind of into the onesie positions. I don't know if I see maybe one running back that I would gamble on here.
Who's the running back?
A-Chain.
We are up. Yeah.
But
that's a fun swing.
I don't even know which. There's P Ryan too, but I think I just swing on A-Chain because we don't really need P Ryan's boring floor.
What was the tight end you liked? Freiermuth?
I want to take Kincaid or Laporta, but I have a hard time justifying it with Freiermuth and Ingram on the board. Like
what
those
about
guys
Watson?
are just better.
I was just gonna say, what if we do
Watson's
Watson? It's so
too.
flat. Yeah.
I'm fine with gambling on Watson. It's just we only get. Then it's A-Chain or tight end.
Romeo Dobbs, if you guys are interested in him. You guys don't probably. It sounds like no one likes him.
The injury is a little spooky right now.
Okay, so Watson or A-Chain. Tight end's going to make it back. Watson or A-Chain. Final votes.
I think A-Chain's making it back too.
Watson
I say we do Watson.
I'd go Watson if it's one of those two.
All right.
The other receiver that might actually even go is Mims. He's
I think he's a decent pick here. I kind of really like I think it was kind of hopeful that we could maybe just get like Jaden Reed, Jalen Hyatt like next turn, like one of those guys. I feel like we
have
could
any
get
interest in Njoku with Watson.
But I mean, Mims has a pretty great situation. Judy's going to probably miss week 1, right? They cut down to 3 or 4 receivers, and then claim Philip Dorsett. It's literally going to be Cortland Sutton and Mims week 1.
Oh yeah, I know. Mims is going to be one of the 4 highest owned players in DFS this week.
The chat saying we should have pushed QB for who? We couldn't decide on anyone. Whoever
Chat is right, but we didn't know who to take.
Chat is right, but we didn't have a pick.
They're not though. If you don't know who to take, then there's no one to push him around for.
Right, that's true. We should, if we were better prepared, Chat is right.
Yeah, if we were better prepared, then we were just hoping Marquise would fall, and when he didn't, we had no other.
Yeah, there's no one.
A-Chain was a good call, but I feel like on this build, I would have rather went tight end or wide receiver 6 and just kept pushing running. I mean,
I kind of like Pat brought this up. No one really acknowledged it, but Njoku to just go in on that Watson bet is pretty.
Yeah, which the chat's saying you could have gone Njoku first, but that's I don't know, chat. Like we didn't have 5 minutes on the clock. Okay, it took us.
We also have
if this room wants to take Njoku and then give us one of Ingram or Freiermuth in the 10th, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like if we get sniped on Njoku, we'll take Ingram or Freiermuth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'd probably take the correlation play, even though it's not like a tournament. It's still like we're still making a bet on Watson,
especially with Watson, right? Like it's kind of he's one of those guys I really do want correlated even in this type of setting because it's like he's either Watson or he's not. you know?
But if he's not, then you don't want to be sunk twice on him. And I actually go the other way on that exact take, but my application is the opposite. We're in a 12-team league. I want him solo because I can play Sam Howell, and then I'm not tied to a shitty tight end too. Like I would actually literally take Freiermuth over him even correlated, I think, because I'm like scared of his floor. I don't want to sink.
Yeah, but if you fill tight end because you got a sweet hit in a 6-point per passing touchdown, take a shot chat league, then I think that's a pretty big win.
The upside is clear of the correlation for sure.
I go either way.
Yeah,
I have Freiermuth ranked ahead. I think the correlation bet makes sense. I'd probably slightly lean the correlation bet. It's still only 4 out of 12 teams make the playoffs, even though it's 12-team league. But
I hear you guys, and I go either way. Yeah, I'll go either way too. I'm not going to pound the table for this.
Well, I will say is we should have totally taken the tight end. We can't decide on that. All are still available as we head around to our next pick. I mean, it's pretty clear in hindsight, guys. You really messed this up.
We messed this up. Just strategically, we blew it.
Also, Team 5 stayed very on brand. They got sniped on Marquise, but they went to the
I think in best ball, Njoku is a no-brainer. I think in any main event, prime time, anything like that, Njoku is a no-brainer. I do think in a standalone 12 team with Watson's range, it gets close.
Let me throw this out there real quick because it's coming up soon. What are the odds one of these tight ends comes back?
Yeah.
One of the three, I would say very low at this point. But
it's like Kincaid and Laporta as backups. Is that so bad? Am I just getting a little too saucy?
I'm not.
I want to take Mims or AJ. I'm with Leone.
I could go for Mims.
I would be tight end or
I'm
Mims.
certainly amenable to taking Mims. I mean, I could.
I kind of think Mims. I kind of think Mims and like. Let's just cross our fingers when these tight ends comes back.
Do you really think that Kincaid? I think Kincaid's a bad pick in the 11th. That you're that into it?
I took Kincaid in like the 9th the other day. So yes, I am into it.
Yeah.
Kincaid's gonna break fantasy this year, and I kind of like breaking fantasy. Well, Freiermuth goes, so it changes the math a little bit.
Even come close to breaking fantasy. I'm not sure if he's gonna break into the top 10 tight ends. That's
that does change the math a little bit.
I think he's gonna absolutely smash. I could go Mims or Njoku. I'm leaning a little more Njoku now with the Freiermuth.
It's a coin flip. I'm gonna vote Mims, but I'm okay with whatever you guys have said.
If the problem is Pat,
Mims
if Pat
more
like
likely to come
legitimately
back?
doesn't like Kincaid, then like.
But Mims is the last of an archetype, is what I'll throw in. Like, what are you gonna get instead of Mims?
Yeah. There is another.
I sort of think Njoku's more likely to come back than Mims, but I might be.
You got 15 seconds. What do you guys want, Pat?
I'm Njoku. I vote Njoku.
Pete,
I think I'm Mims, but
I'm deferring. I forced Pete to be the tiebreaker, so I guess it's Mims 2-1.
Mims.
all right.
Did you like how I sandbagged you on that, Peter? Had you vote first and then abstained?
I thought you were going to just go with the Njoku.
Never forget that we were supposed to take David Njoku to push Marvin Mims back around.
Pat, I'm going to subtweet you so hard in 6 months with preseason Christian Kirk and Dalton Kincaid usage stats from the preseason in 6 months when they win everybody all their leagues.
I mean, Kincaid can certainly pay off, but it's just not well priced. You know, look at these fucking guys. He's a part-time player. Like they're gonna pass mostly out of 11 still. You know, they're not.
He got drafted to play the passing downs.
Yeah, he's a fucking rookie tight end. It usually takes them several years to get fully up to speed. It usually takes them several years to get good at route running. Like I'm not completely out on rookie tight ends. I've been drafting a bunch of them, but like to just price this one guy up and be like, he's the one who's going to smash in a year where there's like lots of.
He is the one who's going to smash.
Leone,
right.
It feels overconfident. It feels very overconfident to me.
Isn't Kincaid just a much better best ball pick? Isn't he going to be super frustrating and managed?
I don't think I can talk rationally about that. I think he's going to be a smash. I think by halfway through the season, he's going to be pretty clearly a top 8 start tight end every single week.
All right. That's certainly possible. I mean, tight end's weak, so like if he's pretty good, like he probably would hit that in that offense. So I just don't think he's priced very well. That's really what it comes down to. So it's not.
I guess I feel like once I get to this point of tight ends, I'm like, well, it'd be a reach over, and like I would not take him over Njoku, but like you're talking like, I mean, we're talking about like when he comes back, like Dalton Schultz versus Kincaid. Like, I mean, live a little.
Yeah, but I'm not taking a lot of Dalton Schultz.
We're not.
I'm
not a straw man that this is Dalton Kincaid versus Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Wait, I thought we said next. You said next turn. You didn't think he was. We weren't taking him there. I was saying
I don't have to take a tight end in round 11. I can take any other position.
I mean, I kind of think it makes sense to get at least one of the upside tight ends at the 11-12 turn.
I went Leone on that, but
I'm saying my thing with Kincaid. I'm not saying we can't take a tight end in 11.
Yeah. No, I got you.
We're like, we're switching back and forth between the team construction and the overall.
Yeah,
case
that's fair.
I just sat down and looked at these receivers and realized the equity for Leone to say in about week 4, this team could really use Marquise Brown is high.
The irony of that being is that Dalton Kincaid fits in really well with this wide receiver room.
Yeah, I know. It's like the one guy that like the one rookie I'm higher on than you guys. Like,
you finally like a sexy player, and we're like, eh.
The last time I liked a sexy player more than you guys, it was Jamar Chase.
Ooh,
that's true.
I don't know more.
No, he was down on the table for him. Alpha play.
You're right. You were very, very high on him, but
yeah,
you guys didn't want to take him.
No, you had to. I think you had to twist our arm a little. It wasn't like we were saying no.
Yeah, it was a reach by
him versus Beauty, and I took him, and Gretsch went, I guess we're taking Chase.
I don't remember it that way.
I want to roll. We're rolling back the tape.
Go for it.
That was an alpha play, and Leone.
We talked about it.
We have to concede that.
We talked about taking Chase at that turn pre-draft. I'm pretty sure, but then like guys,
I was not involved.
We
would not have taken Chase.
That's correct. If Leone, we would have taken Judy over Chase if not for Leone in that draft. I think that's
You guys, so you guys like Chase, obviously. You guys are
the way I remember it is.
Anyways,
I was two other receivers, and then you floated Chase, and then we were all like, "Well, we can do that." Okay, I like no one really put up a fight. That's how I remember.
I remember him being like, "You guys like all you talk about is fucking rookies. This guy's like the best rookie ever. Is he not?" And we were like, "Yeah, he is." They're like, why are we taking him? And I was like, "All right, you're right. We should take him." That's how I remember it.
But I mean, there's a chance our guy makes it back here.
Yeah, there's only
we do.
I'm definitely the bell curve meme with Kincaid though, where I'm just like the fucking like, the mouth breather side that's like Josh Allen, Dalton Kincaid, we're gonna print money. That's me for sure.
Right. I'm still in.
Can I ask you a question?
He wasn't that good of a prospect.
Leone, I'm trying to like suss out like how much of the homer element is part of this take. Let's say QJ wasn't drafted by the Chargers and the Chargers had Dalton Kincaid. Where would you be at on this take?
That is a good question. I would like him lower for sure. I definitely for sure have. I don't know if you call it homer bias. There's a bias too. That's not just like homer bias, but it's like when you're close to something and you know the details, like you like it more just because like you know the ins and outs more.
You know it.
So I think it's more that than I'm like, I love the Bills. You know what I mean? I think I'm like, this team is literally like gonna fall apart if they don't win the Super Bowl this year. And they traded up draft Dalton Kincaid. They have like almost no one to throw to outside of Stephon Diggs. They play with Josh Allen, the highest scoring offense in the league. Like it's gonna happen unless he sucks. Kind of like with the coin. Like if he's remotely good, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Do you think if he smashes, do you think Gabe Davis fails again?
I think Gabe is who he is. He's going to play 90% of the snaps. He's going to have some really big weeks. I think he's really overvalued in these full PPR leagues, though. He's just not going to get a ton of targets. And, like, he's going to smash. If he smashes, it's going to be on the efficiency. So, like, the bet gets really pushed up in these full PPR. I mean, I hate to, like, split hairs because, like, if a guy breaks out, like, who cares if it's full PPR or half? But, like, I think I was really into Gabe early in the offseason. Like, underdogs half PPR. He was going later. But now it's like, He's got to play every down, though. I mean, they have nobody. Like how many offenses in the league project to be? I guess you could say Kansas City, but like, I mean, they have Kelsey, obviously. Like you've got the Kelsey Diggs kind of similarity, but it's like these offenses that project to score so many points, and then there's just like nobody to like get the points.
Right. Yeah, and the Deontay Hardy hype has been pretty loud as well.
Yeah, like Deontay Hardy's gonna keep Kincaid off the field.
No, I wasn't saying.
I know you're not saying that. I know you're not saying that.
Yeah.
I think football will keep Kincaid off the field.
Come on, Kevin.
Like you generally want a wide receiver on the field a lot.
Yeah.
And so
yes.
Yeah.
I think they view him as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've heard that. We've heard that before, for sure. We've definitely heard that before,
yeah,
and it's like
he also wasn't that good of a prospect, frankly. That's another part of it too. Like it's a lot. We're like putting a lot on this dude, at a position where it doesn't really happen like that, and it's like he's not. It's not like he's a Kyle Pitts level prospect or even close. I know he went in the first round, but like that's how many times are we going to count it?
Okay, too. But like the draft cost between rookie year Kyle Pitts and rookie year Dalton Kincaid is quite different. Also, sure. Kincaid's on a way better team.
So,
maybe not. Rookie year Pitts with Ryan, like they were decently projected off.
So when we are about to pick here, we are on the clock. Do we want to just take the better version of the Kincaid pick?
Yeah,
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Let's take full time.
Well, we can't leave him for Chad. He needs a tight end.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
And then, we can't. I mean, Chad definitely takes him.
Running back's pretty flat here.
Yeah,
I'm not opposed to maybe not here, but like this is a team that we could definitely take 2 tight ends on.
Yes,
so
for
just
sure.
Take Laporta here.
Yeah. All right, let's do Laporta.
Receivers flat, running backs flat. We can hit a running back on the way back if you guys want. We already have.
I will say, like, there's basically like 2 really fun running back names left at this point. It's like Roschon and Tajay Spears, and then it just like dries up.
Yeah, I love those
that's
guys.
the 2 I was gonna say.
Yeah. So maybe if we want to take one of those.
Yeah. I mean, we need we're only taking fun running backs. We have 3 running backs to start, and we kind of want to start 4 wide receivers if it worked out well. So
I think if both Tajay and Roschon go, Pete, then Kendra can be a pick.
Yeah, and although he's falling a little bit more too.
He's falling. And then
I think
Sean
I'd
Tucker
be
in the range. Like Sean Tucker is now second on their depth chart.
I don't think he's. You think that?
I think this is early for. I mean, if it got to that point, I think I'd lobby for like Jaden Reed or Jalen Hyatt over Sean Tucker.
I'm telling you guys, I actually think he'll go before the start of the 14th. Sean Tucker. We might get him in like 13 if you guys want.
I'm Mingo over those guys. I mean, Mingo's a starting wide receiver.
Okay, Mingo
ahead of them.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Rookie wide receiver, whichever one you guys like most, sounds good to me.
Are you guys all out on Rashee Rice too?
No,
I'm not out, but I don't know.
I think he's gonna be. Yeah,
the take a peek is actually potentially pretty beneficial for this team. If he were to catch a touchdown and like 4 balls, we might actually want to start him in week 1, considering Burke's injury and Johnston's role. We might be just starting Marvin Mims week 1.
No, because we're starting at 3 running backs.
We're starting 3 running backs. Yeah,
we're good. We're good.
Unless something happens to Ayuk, like, or London or Devonta.
Don't wish that upon him.
You're right. My fault.
No, you're good.
Elijah Mitchell still there? Not that we want to take him because we have CMC, but that's weird. Damn.
There go my 2 running backs.
Those are the exact 2 I was looking at.
Yeah.
I like Kendre too, though. I think Gretchen said Kendre if they went.
We can sit Kendre on ice on this kind of team.
Yeah, we can for sure.
We can push him and Tucker and try to get one at 13 and take one of Rice or Mingo here and push the running back to the next turn.
Yeah, running back's just going to keep getting worse, though.
Yeah. The way this room is now starting to hammer them.
I'd be fine going with Kendre here and then Mingo goes. Well, that makes me.
Also, like, what's our construct? Like, with 3 running backs, like normally, right? We have like 8 running backs, right? Like, we might only need like 6.
You good at receiver? 6 receivers?
Yeah, running back. I mean, and then just have more receivers than usual. on the
I think we
bench.
should take Kendre because there's just very few like really big upside swings left at running back.
There's Chuba. There's Sean Tucker.
Damian
I
Harris.
kinda like-
I'm okay with Kendre.
Who would be
I
the
kind
other?
of like
Jalen.
Kendre. I'm
Who?
going to vote Kendre.
Yeah, let's go Kendrick.
Yeah, all
That's
right,
fine.
Kendre.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote Kendre too.
And then we've got like Rice, Reed, Hyatt. Like just like hope one of those guys comes back, right?
Mhm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and at some point, Chig or Dulcich, I think I think this is a team that we definitely roster 2 tight ends. Like we don't need a shitload of running backs like we normally do.
Would you guys be down to also grab Purdy super late on this team?
Yeah. I think I'm definitely more into the 2 quarterback stuff than I've been in the past.
Just thinking like the CMC IU, smashes, I do think probably coincide with Purdy continuing to be pretty good. And if like Watson is a lemon, like having some kind of out, and it doesn't even have to be Purdy, I guess. There's just the correlation element there, but just
the most
I think a
natural,
second
though.
quarterback, makes some sense that we don't want to spend a lot on. But Brock Purdy is one of those guys that should be available pretty late.
Also, Purdy's like superpower was passing touchdowns. So we.
Right.
What is the scoring settings for QB?
Yeah, I believe
6
it's
points.
6 per passing touchdown.
Oh, 6
Oh.
point. Nice.
Yeah.
I fell for it. The word was like half out of my mouth, and I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah. All right, here's our team through 12 rounds. This guy Leone will not let us stop drafting rookies here. CMC, Devontae Smith, Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, Kenneth Walker, Brandon Ayuk, Quentin Johnston, Traylon Burks, Deshaun Watson, Marvin Mims, Sam Laporta, Kendre Miller. I think like 2 guys on this team are legally allowed to drink. What's wrong, Leone?
Well, what's wrong is the perception that I love olds and hate young players. I just like a touch more balance than maybe the 3 of you do without me. That's all.
Unless the Bills take a guy and then let's fucking go, dude.
Let's go Buffalo Super Bowl!
Ryan says, I'm drafting an NFFC live best ball this Friday in Vegas. Awesome. We will be at the Park MGM drafting NFFC teams all day on Friday. We're doing 2 primetime drafts, one with Stephanie, the queen of our waivers here. And then on top of that, we got our ship chasing party. I believe the graphic said the party was going to kick off at 8, but we have the space starting at 7 p.m. So that will be at the Park MGM where all the drafts are going. We got our own ballroom. Pat's providing the pizza. There's going to be drinks there. Legit all-star guest list. Did I tell you guys Tom Everett Scott's going to swing by? We got Scott Bloomstein, former World Series of Poker, main event champ. It's going to be a very fun time. So if you're in Vegas out there doing drafts, swing by Park MGM on Friday. And then on Thursday, we're drafting the team over at FFPC, and then we'll be there for that watch party. So if you're in Vegas, come say hi.
Is one of you going to go to the party late so that you can show up for the live KDS draw for me for the 10K?
Do you want? I would love to pull up.
Oh, no, that's Thursday night. That's Thursday night after the game. I think it's after the game Thursday. Never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting back to the Purdy conversation, I think the biggest question is if we just want to, like, you do kind of punt a bench spot, but I do think like we saw last year, there's some value to 2 quarterbacks in this league, this format, because they do score a lot. And also I just think when we're structured with earlier running backs, you need less dart throws because they become less valuable if they hit, right? Because they're not necessarily even getting into your lineup.
Yep.
You still want the hit, but I feel like Ben's out on the second quarterback thing. I can't really tell.
No, I'm ashamed to admit it. I'm watching the Chase discussion.
That's right now.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's really good. It's really good. I was wrong about my role in it. But Leone, you did say to me immediately early on, I thought you were Chase over Judy. You used to be Chase over Judy. Like you called me on my own shit because I remembered I had been, and then I said, yeah, I did used to be Chase over Judy, but he's been falling, so I moved him behind Judy. You convinced me and Pat pretty quick. It was good. You also had Julio up there, Leone. You're like, I would be Julio and Chase. Like you.
I had to use Julio as the threat.
Yeah, he knows how to sell.
He was the like ripcord. Like, he's,
Yeah.
I got a bomb strapped to my chest.
You definitely had to talk us in. All of Pat, me, and Pete were Swift, Judy, and the way that you got us onto Swift Chase is almost impossible. I mean, incredible.
Because he was right. It wasn't impossible. He was
right.
correct. He was just
Right.
correct.
Yeah, that's where like you and me are both like, well, we I guess we can be talking to Chase. like fairly. He was like, yeah, you're right. That's great.
Do you guys like Chig
Alpha play
here?
I told you guys, Tucker goes at the end of 12. He doesn't even make it into 13.
You were right.
Yeah, you
right.
called that one.
The receivers went too. I mean, it's just a few of these teams in the back half of this draft are like really on it.
I'm starting to think Team 12 has been kind of like paying attention to the athletic update. Sean Tucker and Zach Moss. This guy knows ball.
Dalton Kincaid, he knows ball.
Oh, never mind. Throw it out. Dalton Kincaid. No. You know, Dalton Kincaid is perfect as your tight end too behind Dallas Goedert, so you never have to start him.
Yeah, he won't really hurt your team that bad there.
I think Sam Laporta is one of our most drafted guys now. We'll have to do a little high stakes portfolio exposure review, but Laporta's got to be up there.
Yeah, he does have to be up there. Someone in the chat was like, Pat, it's September 5th. We know your Kincaid take.
I didn't hear anything you guys were talking about with the two QBs. Is there a cliff note? Like you guys were debating whether we even take a second at all?
But Pete was saying like to take Purdy late, and it's kind of correlated. He could just throw a shitload of touchdowns.
I like it.
And it basically just like a slight hedge on like the Watson upside case is like very clear, but it also could just be a total bust. And there's going to be legit good quarterbacks going at decent prices. Like even Goff with Laporta makes a decent amount of sense.
That would be my point, would be if I would be Purdy or even better for QB2. I think there's no risk in taking a solid QB2 here.
I kind of like Chig here, though. No one really.
Me too. Yeah, I would be on Chig. And guys, let's push the quarterback around. All these guys have quarterbacks.
Strong take.
You just these guys are itching to take a second quarterback.
They're all going to take quarterback because it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah,
it's too late in the draft.
Maybe we're probably good on Chad.
Chad is probably tapped out.
And still have him as one of my top two. The only other tight end I have above him right now is Everett. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've taken him anywhere. This is a good.
There goes Goff. Sure. Yeah, quarterback.
Goff was the last good one.
I think Chig would be an awesome pick.
Yeah.
We're gonna get the. I mean, not that it matters that much, but I think we get the free look on Laporta. I always get confused because it's a self-contained league, but I think they just apply the logic to all their leagues because it's just easier that way.
Yeah.
Before we take, I'm definitely on Chig.
Chig is nice.
Are you guys concerned? So I got it as, aren't you worried about? I got it as Ty Chandler and Chuba as kind of the only two interesting running backs. Do we want another running back even at all? Do we care?
I think we probably want one more running back, but
losing Chig would hurt more than those guys, I think.
It would.
Yeah, because we have some uncertainty on like what we're doing with Laporta out of the gate.
Yeah.
I dig that. We have Traylon too. It's like it's a little bit of a bet on Tennessee's whole, passing situation. Yeah. That's a correlation I'm fine with.
Yep. For the people just tuning in, as we said at the top, this is not a tournament. We've drafted some primetime teams. This is a self-contained, high-stakes, $2,500 entry team. Every year with Leone on NFFC, we've done these self-contained 12-team leagues. This is the super, not super flex, 12-team, $2,500 buy-in.
Did anybody ask why we drafted a dynasty team yet?
No, I'm waiting for that one. That joke's so 2022, I think, is the.
Fuck! Did we have anybody old? CMC and
Deshaun Watson's like our oldest player.
It's Watson
CMC and Watson.
CMC's old, I guess.
Yeah.
This is a young ass team. Holy cow! Ayuk is the next oldest player after those.
Yeah, Ayuk's our trusty vet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Leone's gonna get us to try to draft Cole Beasley to close this thing out.
You know who I like late is Wandale, as I'm a sucker for.
Oh God, yeah.
I'm into it.
You're in the right place.
Although we still got Hyatt on the board too. I know we probably want to take running back, but like, I don't know.
I don't think we have to take running back here necessarily.
I think I'd be Hyatt. I think I'd just be like, we're a little shaky at wide receiver. Let's just make a lot of swings here.
I'm Wandell over Hyatt straight up, but
you're Wandell over Hyatt.
Yeah,
interesting.
I think I agree with Gretch. It's again not to do the manage best ball thing, but like if you get a guy who breaks out as a consistent target share earner that you feel comfortable starting each week, it's definitely going to be Wandell over Hyatt.
Yeah, no, I mean that's cool. I think I just got scared because I took a lot of Wandell early in the offseason, and then it was like we can't touch this guy for like a good period, and now it's like
right.
It's okay. We can draft him again now. So I've had trouble placing him.
I think I'd be Chuba 1 here though.
I think if we don't care between Wandell and Hyatt, or if like it's a close decision, I'd maybe.
That's sort of where I was at.
Did Chandler go?
Jaden Reed went. So
Reed went. The other receivers went, but
okay.
I'd be fine doing Chuba, and then like, is it crazy to just close out running back with 5 on this team? I mean, I guess
it's not.
No,
it's really not.
I think we could close out with 4. Honestly, Chuba's the luxury pick.
Chuba's a luxury pick, yeah.
Kendra, though, we could have to sit on for a little bit, so I don't mind having another body back there.
But is it Chuba over Ty? I feel like Ty has a better chance to just take the job from Madison than Chuba does from.
Also, do we
I think that's about even because I think Chuba's potentially better than Ty. So
he's better.
Do we get the free look, guys?
On who?
We get the free look, right?
Yeah.
On who?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just thinking at a certain point, like MVS would be worth drafting and just dropping in case he has a really big game. We would actually start him week 1.
All right.
Not here, but
the old disgusting guy.
You know what I mean?
Been floated.
Like Kelsey's out. Kelsey's out. And
Leone's going through old withdrawals right now.
This not on this.
How young this team was, and he was like,
I think we're going to take Chuba here and close out running back, right?
Or Ty Chandler, right? That was the debate. Chuba or Ty.
Oh, I think I'm Chandler over Chuba just because the offense is better, but I think Miles sucks more. So I don't know. I could go whoever you guys.
I think Miles sucks more and Chuba's better than Ty. So that's like why I'm on.
Yeah.
Obviously the Vikings is a better offense.
You're Chuba. I'm gonna be coin flip. Pete, you have to decide again.
I think I'm leaning Ty.
Fuck! That means I have to pick.
You already took Ty. Oh, what are you taking?
Chandler.
All right.
But I do think like it's like exactly what Pat said. I mean, it's better offense versus like better chances of it. I was kind of thinking more ceiling just because we have 3 guys. So like, let's just go with the guy that like if it happens, and maybe it's like more points. But I don't know. Maybe that's
also my weekly PSA when we're on here. The Vikings have the nut playoff schedule as well. So it's like a little tiebreaker there.
One of my favorite moments of ship chasing this entire year was the moment that we realized someone in the chat told us that Silva in his first edition of the 150 had Ty Chandler as like running back 40 at like 115 or something. And I mean, we were laughing just because it was so much above market, but it's funny because the market has definitely moved that way. And not just because Silva ranked it that way, because it's clearly moved that way. He was ahead of where Chandler would be at this point. But I mean, still
a little bullish for the current ADP, I would say. But you know, But the other thing was, I think we all had best ball brain.
MVS goes.
Fuck you guys.
Fuck you. Wow, Leone. You didn't even want him there. You're talking later.
I'm just kidding.
Can we just do Justin Ross instead?
Yeah.
On the Chandler thing, I think
Richie James.
It really is much better managed league pick, Chandler.
Yeah, because you can cut him.
Yeah, you can cut him. So he's either gonna like make an impact
but the fact that
clearly be the number 2 or he's not, and then you cut
the fact that McBride got cut. Wongwu was never a thing. I'm still mad that people think Wongwu, who never even had like 100 touches on offense in an entire college season, like this guy was a real threat to be at some point a workhorse NFL running back. In college, he would have had over 100 touches in a season. Like that's just the way that these things.
He's active. I still think he could. He's active because he's the kick returner and he's really fast. So it's a most thing.
So he's not going to.
Okay, yeah. Now he's not active. But that was the play. That was the play.
Yeah, that was the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's like Pacheco sucked, but he was fast. And at a certain point, if a team gives a fast guy a chance, it can happen. So,
Leone, have you been in the team kicker, team defense lab? We need some fresh takes on that front.
Mark Dank for us writes a good article every year, so I just do what he says to do, and I just pull it up every time during my draft, and I don't remember a thing from it until the next time I pull it up.
You just memory wipe, itty defense and kicker takes.
That's perfect.
All right, here's our team through 14 rounds. We got 4 or 5 running backs now: CMC, Jahmyr Gibbs, Kenneth Walker, Kendre Miller, and Ty Chandler. We have at wide receiver Devontae Smith, Drake London, Brandon Ayuk, Quentin Johnston, Traylon Burks, and Marvin Mims. Our quarterback is Deshaun Watson, and 2 tight ends, Sam Laporta and Chig Okonkwo, here as we head into the 15th round. We got 6 more picks. 1 will be a kicker, 1 will be a defense. So 4 more picks to play with. We've talked about doing another quarterback, which gives us 3 more to play with. They're probably done at running back. Could basically do 2 more wide receivers and 1 more tight end. Maybe that's how it's looking.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be Purdy Giants wide receiver at this turn if we had those options available to us.
That's good. Yeah,
that seems.
Leone, did I ever tell you that I tried? I didn't mean to act like you didn't get us on Chase, because you did. Did I ever tell you that I tried to buy you a Jamar Chase jersey at the end of that year, but they were sold?
No, I don't think they did.
Because they went to the Super Bowl. The Chase jerseys were completely sold out. And I actually tried to find a bootleg, Chinese jersey place or something. I could not find a Jamar Chase jersey. Because this is back when you did the randomizer with Pete that year and had done all the jerseys and everything. And I was and I had your address because of our FFWS winnings.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? We had them shipped to you. And I, for some reason, I had it, and I was I literally had your address somewhere, and I was trying to send you a Jamar Chase jersey, but they were sold out, and I never circled back on it whenever they came.
And then I just never.
Yeah, so you never got it.
And then I forgot that you got us on him, and I thought I got us on him. So take that.
I didn't go that
far. That's funny. That's good stuff.
We should get
amazed. They
Leone,
were
a Buffalo Bills Jamar Chase jersey. Just says Chase with his number.
You guys can buy me a Kincaid jersey. I'll buy you all Kincaid jerseys with all the money he's gonna win me.
Yeah, you'll have plenty.
Actually, I don't even have that much Kincaid. I don't even have that much. Is the irony?
Yeah, Pat needs to buy us. Speaking of winning money, Pat needs to buy us jerseys. That's who needs to buy jerseys.
What jerseys do you guys want?
Pat, do you have
Tyquan Thornton?
Tyquan Thornton? Yeah, that's the one I gotta get beat. Tyquan Thornton.
I know this already, Pat.
I do hope he did Tyquan Thornton jersey.
I was somehow 1 year early and 1 year late on Tyquan Thornton. I don't know how that works.
No.
Did you do anything to commemorate it? Do you have a plaque with the lineup? Like Levitan when he won the 250K, I got a Burrow jersey and then a plaque with a nice picture of the team, with the FanDuel scoring. Do you have anything like that?
I don't. I mean, I could, if I did anything, it would be Eckler related, I would say. He was.
Yeah, the Eckler powder blue Chargers jersey, and then have the underdog team with the scoring for the week.
Yeah, that's cool.
Print it out.
I haven't done anything like that. I thought about following Liam's lead and just demanding that underdog send me a ring. But I haven't done that yet.
I could have grabbed you one, Pat. I saw one kicking around when I was at the Super Bowl.
There's one kick they made it and didn't send it to me?
Yeah, it was just sitting out there. I was like, well, it's not for me.
Poor guys.
Yeah. Have we decided if we want to do which Giants wide receiver if they're both here?
I think Wandell was.
I think we go quarterback first, right?
Well, quarterback first.
Push quarterback around.
If they're both there, I'd probably take quarterback first, and maybe someone makes the Giants decision for us. But
yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
What do you think, Gretch?
I think that makes sense. Let's say QB. Let's say Purdy. Purdy's the guy.
I guess I'll say this. I'll feel more bad about losing both Giants wide receivers than I will having to take Sam Howell instead of Brock Purdy.
Or Russ.
We have
Wilson
the bet on
even.
Purdy. We have Ayuk.
We also have but we have the Russ Mims bet too as a backdoor.
Right.
Like
I think we should grab the wide receiver
Russ
we
in
prefer.
passing touchdown league isn't so bad.
I mean,
here.
I'm Hyatt and you guys are Wandale, so we're split, I think.
Oh, I thought you were
have to do
Wandale.
with the order.
No, I'm Hyatt.
I think you got outvoted on that.
I think you're 3-1 on that.
No, I kind of thought everybody
you're
was.
Wandale too?
I'm neutral, so.
Oh, you're neutral. Okay. Well, my vote is Purdy here, but I guess I'm outvoted on that too.
Yeah, unfortunately, you've never won anything.
Peter, you're on the sticks. You just got to click someone.
Yeah. Let's Pat win. So, yeah, Pat, I mean, when I send him 9 invites to co-manage this league and he doesn't accept any of them, I think that's basically saying I get to.
Well, listen, man, you're the one who can't put a period in my email, even though there's clearly a period in there, and that wouldn't allow.
If you actually knew tech, you would know that the periods in Gmail addresses are actually entirely cosmetic, and sending an email with or without the period will still get it to the destination.
That is 100% correct. But if you try to link, yeah, it's crazy actually.
That's a real thing.
That's real.
That's a real thing. You don't need a period. Yeah.
So there's if you have.
However, NFC does respect the period. So if you link to a. if you put it to without
period in your invite.
It's kind of shocking that the NFC technology doesn't work the same as the Google technology with the email logic.
I love the chat right now. I first of all love that Charlie says neutral vote is not really neutral when it's 2-1 because it's a really nuanced point about how.
I'm sorry. I've done that twice. That's on me.
And then Joe right behind it just goes nerd.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
We could just take Hyatt and punt QB for a round.
Yes, please don't send me emails. Yes, please don't send us emails.
That might not be a bad idea.
Since we took Wandale, Jake Ferguson, CH, Deion Jackson off the board.
Is it bad to just take Hyatt and just punt the QB for another round?
I'm okay with that, honestly. If
Sure.
Pat, I'll let you make this decision on Purdy or Hyatt.
I'll throw it to Pat.
I actually love that.
Thanks, guys. It's just really generous of you to box me into something I don't really give a shit about, and then let me decide. Yeah.
Well, we're giving you a second chance at life for Hyatt.
Thanks for letting me flip it, though.
We were giving, hey, you liked Hyatt. This could still work. I like Hyatt too. I think he has more potential to be like a clear starter than maybe Pete and Ben.
I think we go Hyatt. Yeah.
It's a great way to play both of them because, I mean, they do play very different positions, but we'll get a look at their offense and which one maybe makes more sense and how they're going to do things. And
yeah.
It's
it's an offense that I don't know if they're going to be amazing, but I like Dayball a lot. I think they're going to They're going to do some.
They might do things a little different than last year.
5 of these teams after us have 2 quarterbacks, and then the other ones are like.
Oh, come on!
That's how you do it. That's how you bleed the clock down and snipe us on Jalen Hyatt.
Hold on. Are we sure actually that it's Purdy over Russ?
Well, we have him with McCaffrey and Ayuk.
Yeah, it's more. We do have Mims.
I'm not. I'll default to you. I don't.
I kind of vote Russ. I'm going to vote Russ. I'm going to vote Russ.
Russ feels like a wider range of outcomes, almost similar to the Watson play, right? Where like the hit is going to be bigger than the Purdy hit, but he definitely has a lower floor than Purdy.
We're looking for those guys. Watson didn't work out.
Distributions overlap.
And our entire team is the 49ers. So if the
49ers becomes one safe guy.
Pat, vote.
Purdy.
Gratch.
He voted Purdy.
All right.
I've been outvoted.
I just think like the entire
use your best. 2 risky quarterbacks becomes 1 not so risky quarterback.
Right. You got me with the 2 risky thing. I was like, the floor's really low. This is a correlation where if the Niners suck or if Purdy sucks, like this team's dead, right?
This
like,
team's dead.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah, the team's fucking dead.
So Purdy's the floor play that already
put
has
up
to be.
points with fucking Carolina. The team's not dead if Purdy sucks.
And they're not gonna come on, man. They're not giving him a
Here's the
90%
guess what?
snap share or whatever.
Guess what, guys? We're gonna
needs
get
the
Russell
offense to be
Wilson
good.
on waivers when Team 5 drops one of their 3 quarterbacks after week
That's
2.
true.
So it's
That's-
gonna be fine.
That's fair. I do think like things of the correlation though, like Ayuk's our wide receiver 3 with a bunch of rookie bets on the bench that potentially replace him depending on how things go. And like CMC's kind of like that dude should roll kind of no matter what as long as he stays healthy. So it's like I kind of think like just
Sam
picking a
Darnold in
better
Carolina,
quarterback.
right? So he could do well with Sam Darnold in San Francisco.
Yeah, although I don't know. I think CMC is a little bit of a different play these days where we don't expect him to have. I mean, he literally got every single snap when he was.
Yeah, he needs to score. He needs to score more touchdowns.
He needs to score.
For sure.
Yeah, he needs to score. He needs the offense to be clicking. He's our first round pick. And like the whole point of this quarterback is that Deshaun Watson might like flame out. And so it's like, well, then our quarterback too should be like the guy who's already like tied to this team in a huge way, which I think he is. I get what you're saying about Ayuk, but that's also our second bet on the offense. So
yeah, no, that's fair. I just think Russ, I think it was close enough that I would just take the guy that I think has the higher ceiling or projects better, which is Russ.
It was close.
Why don't we reach across the aisle and grab Tannehill as our third QB?
No.
we gotta get Leone an old quarterback.
I'm really trying to draft like one old guy on this team. You guys won't.
We refuse.
Just give me one.
I mean, Wandale Purdy. We continue to just take the youngsters, man.
That's true, man.
No, I like Purdy. I do think Purdy also has like a higher ceiling than people think too. So I'm totally cool with Purdy. Like
we need a kicker and deep, and we have 2 more picks to get an old.
Yeah, but why
Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Old?
Oh, he's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone. Plus, like the free.
Is there a really old kicker we can take?
Like,
a really old team kicker?
What's team kickers? Which team has been in existence for a really long time?
Oh,
yeah.
We take Packers.
Guys, I got it. We take Josh Palmer and we just start him for 17 weeks because he's a better player than Quentin Johnston.
Oh, nice, dude. Let's handcuff Quentin Johnston with Josh Palmer, who for some reason is available still, even though he's starting week 1.
Yeah, he's going to keep QJ on the bench the entire year and yet can't get drafted himself.
Yeah,
it's funny how
no
that
one
works.
is remotely interested in drafting him. I wonder why.
I love
I'm
that.
irrationally
His name is still
tilted
misspelled.
over the Hyatt snipe.
Yeah, just because we finally talked ourselves into getting both of those.
Yeah,
guys.
we all agreed. We're all happy together, and then
It was a very kumbaya moment just stolen from us.
probably our best moment of the stream, and it lasted for
really
1
was.
second.
Is Michael Wilson just like terrible, or is he what?
We all went through a Michael Wilson phase, and I think we all sobered up.
Okay.
Pat?
I haven't really sobered up.
I was waiting.
I still take him sometimes. I mean, it's more of a best ball thing generally for me because it's like you never roll all year.
I know who it is. Oh, I don't.
Yeah,
I think
he
I
just
don't think
put
you
him
guys
in-
are gonna let
I see it.
you guys aren't gonna let me do it though. I don't think.
I will. I'll let you do it.
Okay.
Why not
Based
Justin
on how
Austin
excited
Bird?
you are, the placement of your hands makes me want.
Oh,
I
it's
think Cat-
really bad.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want Leone to get what he wants. Right
All
now.
right.
It's really bad.
Whatever he says, I promise to be okay with it.
I typed
don't.
it in the private chat. If you want to read it. Yeah.
It's Lenny.
Oh god. Oh god. I'm actually fine with it. I'll give Leone Lenny.
I like it better in best ball because I don't think he has like any sort of ceiling, but I do think he could like sign somewhere and be like usable, which doesn't really
Dude,
fit
I
for our
have a
team.
shitload of Lenny in early draft, so I hope you're right.
So what do we just? How long do we?
I actually
stash
don't
him
think we
for?
should take Lenny.
Yeah, how long do we
Wow.
stash him for? Because we're gonna cut him by week 2 if he doesn't sign.
Leone just pranked us, dude.
Yeah,
He got us to like give him this old guy, and then he was like, "No, actually, that's a bad pick."
Well, I was like, I think like there's almost no realistic path to him like having like a legit ceiling. Like best ball, it's like if he plays and score 10 points a week, like you're happy. But like even if he signs, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what do we do now?
I gotta play.
Right.
And again, I said this a bunch of times, but I do think this is legit with Kelsey's injury. Like they could go extra receiver formations frequently. They talked about Justin Ross having a package. I think there's a chance they keep all 7 receivers active now because Kelsey's hurt. Like it could be Noah Gray, but it could just be
Noah Gray, free look at tight end. That's where we're weakest.
We could do that as well. We could do Noah Gray. But I was going to say Justin Ross.
Does he double count as an old?
I actually had Ross in the queue. There's also Isaiah Likely with the
he's 24.
The Andrews stuff. There's Likely as like an upside swing. We could do Likely Ross.
Yeah, you could also
do Gray Ross.
Take a peek is a legitimate advantage given how weak we are at tight end. We're not that weak.
Yeah.
Weak position.
We get 2 free looks at tight end, and then we get to start a Conquo if we have to.
That would be hilarious. 4 points.
I think we should. That's actually very fun.
I really like that.
All right, let's take Gray. Should we get ahead on kicker defense since it's like kind of doesn't matter at this point? Like I tend to do that to just not get the worst.
Give us some names.
I'll get on that.
Yeah.
All right, team kickers: Baltimore, Atlanta, Seattle. Oh, we should take Atlanta, and Boomer Arthur Smith can maybe finally pay off for us. Defenses: Cowboys, Eagles, Niners. Well, I know Washington plays Arizona to start, so I just kind of feel like we take Washington, we bank those points.
Yeah, that's a good one.
They could score so many points.
That's a great one.
Look at us, all you. We're going to get sniped on Noah Gray. We're going to get sniped.
Well, I was just looking. It's a good thing if we would have taken Hyatt, seeing Wilson get snap picked, then Hal Ritter go, we could have gotten boxed out there at QB2.
Yeah, maybe it worked out for the. We did not anticipate the third quarterback from.
Yeah, that was the curveball. I think we just take all Chiefs and Lions the rest of the way out. I just can't stop taking a peek at this game, man. Give me all.
I love taking peeks.
Is team
oh my God, Marvin Jones! Let's go.
That's a throwback. Leone, in the championship of the FF World Series that you mentioned earlier, you got us on Marvin Jones. I didn't want to start him. We had to set a starting lineup. You convinced me to start him, and he was a difference. We won it over Herzig because you really wanted to play Marvin Jones. Remember that?
I do. But I was he's just an on-brand. I don't really but like this, I think this Gray thing would be kind of cool. My thing with the Ross peek ahead, I just don't know if he's gonna like play like.
I think we know what the peak's gonna show us. It's gonna show us like
the peak is a healthy scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be active, but I think he's not.
Ever since Davis got on him, the Bush was back in on Justin Ross. You want to do the Noah Gray?
Davis. Yeah, no. My favorite though is Davis posting like a triple move in one-on-one practice against like the 4th string safety for Ross.
After 2 months earlier saying
like Amico was like freaking out. He's like, that's like an unrealistic drill. And I looked up on the depth chart, that's like the 4th string safety. He was like so tilted at Davis. Davis had this clickbait tweet with the highlight clip on it. Oh man, our defense goes.
Yeah, we lose the Commanders. So we got 3 more rounds left. 1 is team kicker, 1's team defense. We got 1 more pick. Likely
Seattle gets the Rams. If the Cup's out, that's a good play, right?
Yeah, that's a good play. Chargers is like a decent. I think Saints are gone, right? Chargers is just like a decent one in general. Chargers in Cleveland. I'm just going off.
Who the
Chargers versus Dolphins?
Chargers versus Dolphins, which might not be bad because remember the points allowed doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, just turnovers.
Okay. Yeah, you've got Cleveland. The Cleveland one is a take on the OL stuff. It's Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Tennessee the first 3 weeks, which are all kind of like shaky O lines for Cleveland. What is the Cleveland play? I'm literally just reading off Dank's thing. I have no original thoughts.
Oh, I got it. I got a guy we should maybe consider.
That's a defense.
Oh, the double
does his
tap
name rhyme with Mustin Poss?
No, it's Evan Hall.
Huh.
This is a big running back swing.
Do we want to go running back instead of wide receiver?
I was
going to take defense.
Yeah.
It's just like nothing that makes me excited. I mean, Alec Pierce is there. I take a lot in best ball, but like, I mean, are we really starting him every week? So
what about your boy Slayton, dude?
I mean, I guess we could do Slayton, but that doesn't really feel like a big swing. Like he'll probably play some and be okay.
Justin Ross goes.
So,
I kind of would just take I like this Browns defense schedule. I would take the Browns here.
The case for Hall here is we talked earlier about like Taylor could be out for the entire season, and Hall is versatile and he's very athletic, and they're gonna get a look at him early. So it's a chance that
he's my top available running back.
Yeah,
it has been for a while.
I mean, we're really not going to take him because of priority on team defense. Like, let's just take the last kind of home run swing at running back.
I mean, that's fine. I do think there's something to like where everyone starts to take defense kicker, where there's a good chance your lotto ticket falls, and then you don't end up with the worst of the kicker and defense. But I don't feel strongly.
I totally agree with that, Leone. But they're like 6 of the 8 teams on that side have already taken a D.
Yeah.
And do we have one that we?
I didn't say it's like guaranteed to fall.
Yeah.
Browns would be the one if we were to take.
Yeah.
One.
Broncos
we can take Hall.
Broncos are 4-point home favorites versus Jimmy Garoppolo. That's another one that I would float out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to be able to. I do like the early schedule stuff, but like I don't think we should be planning on like streaming. Like you're not going to be able to stream each week. Like it's just harder because we've already seen 2 teams roster 2 defenses. I wouldn't surprised to see more.
What who did the Browns play week 1? Did you say Bengals week 1?
Yeah, they've got Bengals, Steelers, Titans, which are all like big OLDL mismatches.
You really want to play a defense against the Bengals in week 1?
I mean, if you're just looking at pass attempts against an OLDL, I mean,
it's pass attempts because you want sacks and interceptions. But when the quarterback is one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the NFL, like you're not going to get a lot of sacks though.
Burrow takes sacks.
Yeah, it takes a bunch of sacks, and he's dealing with a calf injury, so I don't think it's crazy.
Okay, but it's also not. That's I guess what I'm saying. Like when you look at the stretch to start, it's pretty good. Like I'm not saying like the Bengals is like we're targeting that, but I don't think with the way the defensive scoring works and with it being like a decent stretch, and I don't think we're going to be able to just exchange each week like the one we want like super easily.
Yeah, I'm coming around. I like it. But they might fall because they play the Bengals in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully they do.
All right, let's go in the team kicker lab.
I can read you off Atlanta.
Before you do that, why don't you roll the clip?
Oh yeah.
Let's get in the lab.
Time, guys. It's time.
Kicker chasing. It's the show where we chase the best kickers. The kickers that help you win championships. The biggest legs. The breaking news. It's everything you've come to love and know. The time is now for kicker chasing. Let's get some fucking kickers.
Oh yeah! So good.
Get some fucking kickers.
What are we drinking, Pat? We got some San Diego brews.
I do, yeah. This is actually down the street from us. Thorn Street Brewing.
Wow.
It's pineapple sour. First sip, I thought this beer sucks, and now I kind of like it a lot. So, it's one of those that sneaks up on you in a good way.
Love it.
Yeah. Kind of like the Wan'Dale Robinson pick. It's a little sour, a little tart at first, and then you're like, holy cow, he could be leading the Giants in targets by the end of the season, baby.
Oh, man.
Give me some more of that.
Exactly.
Ooh, my team kicker is long gone.
Wow. Chipsy's canceled. Our last draft stream. By the way, when this draft is over, we're going to announce a little walk-off announcement of what our plans are going to be in season. We've been mentioning that things are going to look a little different. here. So we will make that announcement immediately following this draft before we get out of here.
I do think one thing I'm disappointed in from the group is we came in first 2 years ago. We came in second last year, and then we won our lowest stakes this year.
I know,
but it wasn't. It was because of
timing.
Scheduling issues. Yeah.
It was timing.
We weren't.
We were Bon
We're
Leone.
not scaling down our action. You know.
You were doing what? Are you doing the 5K or 10K when we're having our party in Vegas? Is that what it ended up being?
Yeah. I'm doing the 10. That's when the 10K is. It's 7 p.m. on Friday night.
Yeah,
7 p.m. your time.
We chose the people over getting a higher stakes league.
When did you do the party last year?
We did it later Friday night, like we did 9 or 10. But because we're doing pizza and we're getting the space, we're doing it a little earlier.
Got it.
Yeah,
so we have some guesses on the format here. One of them is that Pete revealed all the bids for our waivers.
Yes.
Instead of just
one. Love that.
Let's just say that's not even going to be possible anymore. Not even going to be possible. There's a teaser.
There's a teaser.
Yeah.
Got him. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
For the end season. It's going to be a blast.
Me too.
All right, Chiefs go. So we're about to be on the clock for our final 2 picks. Let's see here. Denver Broncos go. Chiefs go. Hodgins, Leone was pounding the table for the Browns D, and they're still here. That's the.
I'm regurgitating the mark, but they seem like the best defense to take.
We did it, Leone.
That's the rule.
We got the Browns.
Alpha play for sure.
Wow. We lost out on Marquise Brown 3 rounds later, but we did get the Browns defense.
And that's an original franchise. That's an old franchise.
Old ass franchise. Correlated with our quarterback.
Okay, so I got Chargers.
The chat will nailed it. Take kicker first because there was 4 D's over there. We should have taken kicker first.
God damn it!
We should have pushed the Browns.
Okay, they finally were right about one. They were finally right.
Nah, this
definitely should.
No, but honestly, the way these teams take 2 defenses, there was no safety.
No, they have to take kicker. They haven't taken kicker.
Yeah, now they're locked into kicker.
Well, hopefully their defense here. We're gonna be like, see, that would have been the Browns.
But we still haven't even mentioned a kicker we wanted.
Oh, I got 2 in the queue, baby. 2 in the queue. All right. Just calm down. Listen.
Oh, I like Paul's call. We're stacking that bitch up with Deshaun.
Yeah, we did.
Deshaun
stacking that bitch up with negative correlation.
Nah, they're going to get into shootouts, Pat. Up and down track meets. They're going to give up points, but they're going to cause chaos.
All right.
Telling a story. Oh man, we got to survive 3 straight kicker picks. This would be
just 2, hopefully, because Lions.
Oh, 2.
Off
2.
course.
2. Yeah, 2.
But never know. You never know. There goes Kyler, 20th round pick.
Wow.
Dink and I auto drafted him in our slow today in the FFPC main, so that was great.
On
accident. Yeah, I had just
he was in your queue and then he got auto drafted.
Like he shouldn't have been at the top of the queue in hindsight.
Gotcha.
But what
round?
It was too early, but it was like
Dicker?
I don't know, 17 or 18. Yeah.
Dicker the kicker?
They go for it on 4th a good amount. All right, Dicker it is.
Did you have?
Didn't they
gotta
stop
have
doing
another?
that? Didn't Staley capitulate?
He did, but they still went for it a decent amount. I would have. The Lions went. Yeah, no, Dicker it is.
We couldn't free look the Lions because I don't think you can drop.
Tyler not here tonight, but Nick has us covered in the chat.
You can't drop the kicker?
I don't think you can drop someone that's in your starting lineup.
Oh.
I think FFPC is the same way.
Yeah.
I think. And you can't bench them if you don't have someone else to put in. I could be wrong, but that's not 100% sure on that.
So we would have to cut like Evan Hull if we really wanted to, but otherwise we would have been screwed.
No, we wouldn't have been able to.
If we cut like Evan Hull, added a second kicker.
Oh, and then just left the Lions on the bench for the week. I see what you're saying.
No, even after the game, would we have been able to switch it after?
I don't. Yeah, because you get a free. I don't know how the logic works.
I don't know how it works either. I was talking to Sean about this exact thing actually. This is why I'm asking, because you seem to have a better understanding than either of us did. It's very complicated. Sam
Sherman and I did a FFPC stream, and someone kind of mentioned it to us because we ended up taking like Lions kicker at the end because we were like, oh, we'll get the free look, and someone's like, you can drop them if you're not in your starting lineup, but I don't think there's any way to get them out of your starting lineup at waivers. Do you know?
Right.
You can't.
Yes.
But I don't know
when.
But
if you cut like Evan Hull, a different player,
you could bench them for the week and drop them the next week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
That would be the only way to do it. You'd have to drop a position player.
Yeah, because the waivers happens before the lock of the lineup happens.
Yeah. You could take them out after you cut Hull, and then you have two kickers, and then you cut one after week one.
Yeah.
That's like the only way.
Ryan, I think Leone said it. It's because people wondering why do the self-contained leagues do take a peek, because it's how they structure their entire contests across the platform. And I don't think they're separating how the free agents operate in self-contained versus the tournament format.
Also because it's
I'd say we're pretty sure.
Yeah, why shouldn't the self-contained leagues be?
Well, it is because Chad was joking about taking a peek on Mahomes. So
oh yeah.
I like fun. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I first started playing high stakes, I was like, the take a peek's overrated. It's just 1 week. It's the first week of the year. It's the least important of all the weeks. Dude, the more years that I play this tomorrow, I'm like, this is like, it's the skeleton key of everything. Like, I care so much about the take a peek.
Yeah.
It's so good.
All right. Let's recap this team here, guys. We started out with CMC. We thought, hey, maybe we get Tyreek Hill. Nope. Devontae Smith comes back to us in the second. That felt good. We woke up with Jahmyr Gibbs in the third, finally grabbed a high-stakes share there. Drake London in the fourth, Kenneth Walker in the fifth, Brandon Ayuk, then Quentin Johnston, Josh Palmer's backup, Traylon Burks. Then we grab a quarterback, Deshaun Watson, when it got flat. Hemden Hod took Marvin Mims, missed out on Dalton Kincaid, but got the better version in Sam Laporta. Kendre Miller, after our other two targets, Roshan Johnson and Tajay Spears went. Then we saw Chig falling and had to scoop him up in the 13th. Debated Ty Chandler or Chuba, went with Ty Chandler there. Debated Jalen Hyatt or Wan'Dale Robinson, went Wan'Dale. Debated Jalen Hyatt and Brock Purdy. Nope, Jalen Hyatt got sniped, so we took Brock Purdy. Looked like a blessing in disguise after a mini QB run. Then we took Noah Gray because we are so sharp and we're going to take a peek. Then Pat pounded the table for Evan Hull, which we grabbed. Leone's defense comes back around. Cleveland Browns, super storied franchise that appeals to Mike's old and, antique sensibilities. And then we wrap it up with Dicker, the kicker, Los Angeles team kicker.
That was an all-time team breakdown.
The listeners have been serviced.
I feel exhausted. I feel like I'm at the end of drafting season. Like this is the last drafting stream. That's what it feels like to me.
We do need an average age.
10 from the Russian judge. A 10.
Exactly.
How old is CMC?
27, I believe.
He is.
You're really worried about the age on our team.
He just turned. He's 20. He's just turned 27, and I think he's far and away our oldest player.
He's the only guy over 25. It's Deshaun Watson, probably.
Oh, Watson.
Watson's about to turn 28. But okay. I don't think anyone else on this team is over 25 years old.
Yeah,
Brandon Ayuk?
28, like today.
Ayuk's 25 this year. He turned 25.
I mean, this is what year is it? I don't know. I can't keep track of all the Ayuk's team years.
He was on the CD Jefferson class.
Leone,
what's your... and a half. Ayuk's 25 and a half.
Leone, what's the machine take on this team? I know you got overruled on a couple of your guys, but what does the machine think of this team's chances?
No, I love this team. I think we got a good mix here. I think we, like we always do, we take a value like Gibbs and we're open to it, even though we're not planning on it. And I think as much as we like Breece Hall, we kind of made the right decision to be at wide receiver there with Drake London, just knowing we'd have some flexibility with like either Walker or Dobbins at 5'6". I like at tight end that we kind of grab like the fun upside guy, but then like Okonkwo's like an upside guy and a little bit safer than Laporta. So I feel good. I feel good about this squad. I don't really know what I would have done differently. I mean, obviously there's a few like head-to-head player takes we're like slightly different on, but looks
really want Marquise Brown.
Solid to me.
Marquise.
Do you wish we had Marquise Brown instead of QJ here?
Very fun.
It was not Marquise versus QJ. I was on Team QJ. It was Marquise versus Traylon, and I probably would have taken Marquise.
Well, it was Marquise versus QJ, and then it was Marquise versus Traylon.
No, I was
Leone was on Team QJ over Marquise.
I voted for QJ.
You were
QJ. Okay.
When you look at this team, do you think in your head somewhere this team needs Marquise Brown?
No, but I just think he's a better.
Brown.
I think he's a better bet than Burks, just generally like floor ceiling combination. I think is better, but I like Traylon Burks. Like, I mean, and we got like, and kind of like I was joking about the QB distributions overlapping, but like kind of the whole point of the way we draft is like some of these guys are gonna suck, but like we just need like one or two to be good.
I would say the only pick that wasn't fun for me was like Deshaun Watson because the board got super flat.
Yeah.
We didn't have anyone else we wanted to take. Deshaun's not my favorite guy to root for, and yet I think just looking at the board, it was the best pick at the time.
Deshaun's not my favorite guy to root for.
The one thing I was like thinking about if you work backwards is like, I don't have the board in front of me, but like, it didn't happen. Like we had to take Gibbs. But there's part of me that was kind of wondering, like, could we make one wide receiver pick in the first 4 rounds work and take Lamar and just take like essentially the same team that we drafted? Maybe we'd take like another, wide receiver bet.
Yeah, there was like a Herbert decision,
but it didn't happen. It didn't happen because it went Lamar, Herbert on the turn, and we definitely weren't going to take those guys before Gibbs. And I think Burrow unstacked with the calf injury and stuff when it made sense. So we didn't really like have that opportunity, but I don't think we would have done it. And that's one that I would have been like unsure of like what the right way to play it is.
I love this running back room because we've done a lot of running back rooms that look like, I would say like Breece, ETN, Dobbins, like those kind, or like Breece, ETN, Javonte Williams, getting a CMC, Gibbs, Walker room, which I know are all 3 running backs we like, but to get those guys all on the same team together is very fun.
This is an awesome team. I love every time we draft with Leone, we wind up with a team that's like a little bit different than our other builds, but also very much fits the ideals of what we normally do. And then they always smash. So I'm looking at this team and I'm like, this team's going to smash. I'm so confident this team's going to win this league. This team's awesome.
Yeah, and honestly, to your point, Ben, I know there's a lot of distinguished drafters in here, but looking at some of the builds and stuff like that, I do really feel good about how our team stacks up. And we stayed on target, and I think we really got a lot of best players at our spots.
Yeah, the guy from Team 7 drafted a super sharp team. That's like the one that I'm. Yeah, he's even got the late round quarterbacks I like with like Kirk and Geno back to back, like, which for this format actually makes
when he took Tucker really early, I legit thought that it might be like an alternate universe ship chasing team.
This is a different guy.
Isn't this Team 7?
Yeah, this is Team 7. The Kirk.
I thought you said Tucker.
Yeah,
he did. He took Justin.
Team. I'm sorry. I was thinking Sean Tucker. My bad. I misunderstood.
He takes Breece. He takes Amon-Ra, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. He gets Marquise Brown, Leone's favorite player. I mean, it's all our favorite players.
Yeah, it's a nice team. Yeah. We don't normally talk about other good teams, but
we did it, guys. Always enjoy this annual tradition of drafting Alpha Plays Only with Mike Leone. This does conclude another terrific draft season here on Ship Chasing. Had a ton of fun drafting on Underdog, FFPC, NFFC. Excited to keep things rolling in Vegas here. We will be there on Thursday and Friday. On our Twitter, we have the full schedule pinned. We're basically going to be at the Planet Hollywood on Thursday, and then we'll be over at Park MGM all day Friday, including our party, 7 p.m. Swing by. You can hit us up if you have questions, details. Leone, any final words here for us before we head out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm drowning a little bit trying to get everything ready for the start of the season, but we're going to have some NFL DFS tournament sims over at the Solver, which is going to be really cool. You know, we're hoping to have that ready week 1. If we do, it's going to be free and for anyone to try out and see how that goes. And we'll have all our usual DFS stuff and prop stuff at ETR. We spent a ton of time like investing in an analytics team to work with me this past off season. So I'm pretty excited about the stuff we're putting out.
Yeah, can't wait to dig into that. Gretch, Pat, any final words before we play our announcement video about what our plans are going to be here in season?
I think we roll a video.
I think I'm curious if we know ball.
All right, guys. We will see you on a different day in season here on Ship Chasing. Let's roll the final clip of drafts. This fall, things are going to look a little different on Ship Chasing. We're about to find out, do these chasers actually know ball? Because starting in week 2, Ship Chasing is moving from Wednesday nights to Thursday nights. We're swapping out waivers for Thursday night football watch parties. Special guests, group pick'ems, giveaways, team sweats, adult beverages, in-depth X's and O's breakdowns of 2 high safeties. Okay, well, maybe not that last one, but trust us, we know ball.
We know ball. We know ball.
And best of all, it's all presented by our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. Mark your calendars every Thursday at 8 p.m. starting September 14th.
God, 3.5 hour streams every Thursday. I sure hope we know ball.
God, I hope I know ball.
God, I hope I know.